Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs have back-to-back Rookies of the Year. Stephon Castle brings home that hardware. He averaged nearly 15 points a game this season. Last time the same team had back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners, Minnesota Timberwolves in 15 and 16, Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. And the Atlanta Falcons fined $250K. Their defensive coordinator fined $100K for that prank by the Sun.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always watch us on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a
Hump Day!
Hump Day!
Yeah. Happy Hump Day, everybody. We've almost made it to the top of that hump.
Really now?
Just about.
Just almost to the top.
Almost to the top.
Not quite there yet.
Not quite. Keep plugging away.
Yeah. Now, do you need to finish a sentence? Because it just sounded like in Sports Center you said the Sun.
Well, I did say the
is
Sun.
Responsible.
He is responsible.
Yes. You know, was it a partly cloudy sun? What was going on?
It was the defensive coordinator's son. Everybody knows that.
Oh, okay.
He's a juvenile delinquent,
Is he really?
21-year-old juvenile delinquent. I got questions, though.
Uh-huh.
Why do the Falcons get roasted $250,000? Defensive coordinator gets roasted for $100,000, and all the other pranks just go unpunished.
We don't know that they'll go unpunished, but they didn't get Shedeur Sanders.
Exactly.
Now, what I'm out of curiosity. Now, granted, when was the last time you prank called anybody?
I was probably, 10 years old.
At some point when you were in school, probably high school.
Maybe. I don't even think I was prank calling in high school.
Oh, sure you were.
Junior high, maybe.
Come on. I mean, but the idea of prank calling, I guess a college kid thought it was going to be funny. And I guess when you are expecting a call, getting drafted, you're going to answer everything, because right now, who answers a phone if it's a number you don't recognize?
Nobody.
And the fact that our phones generally tell us scam or spam or whatever yours might say.
Yeah, spam.
Right? Mine says scam likely. My mom says spam risk. My mom loves telling me every day, I had 7 calls from my friend spam risk today. Right? But most people don't answer that. So the idea of this many prank calls is, in today's world, you just kind of feel, I don't know, I'm surprised they're still a thing.
Well, dude, if you're, again, a draftee or a guy waiting to be drafted and your phone rings, you probably think that's good news. You're about to get drafted, your name's about to be announced, and you want to answer the call from Jerry Jones or Arthur Blanks or some other owner in the NFL.
Yeah.
And to say, hey, you've been drafted. So you're excited. So you pick up that phone call, and then it's some donkey on the other end, pranking you. But apparently, according to Adam Schefter, there were 2 or 3 of these calls other than Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Abdul Carter apparently was pranked.
Somebody got a couple of prank calls.
It's ridiculous.
And again, confidential information. The league sends to the GM, the coach, and the player personnel guy. And then they send it to who's going to need it. Guy has his iPad apparently at the house, if you believe the story, and his kid can get into his iPad. I don't know about you, but my kid could get into my phone. She knows the code. So I could see where the kid, college age, doing dumb college kid things, would think that's funny. I can only manage the punishment that this kid is going to have to face from his dad, who not only is embarrassed, lucky he didn't get fired, but got fined $100,000.
$100,000. That's incredible. And yeah, because for the Falcons, $250,000, that's not so. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money for you and me, but
Sure.
for a billionaire, that's not so bad. But
Well, and
still, though,
imagine for Jeff, it's
that's a lot.
$100,000. I mean, I know he's rich, but it's still $100,000.
Well, look, the kid should be in trouble. I mean, he should be. He came out, he issued an apology. He thought it was funny. Look, 21-year-olds, I did a bunch of knucklehead things at 21 years old. Never prank called anybody, and it didn't cost me $100,000.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
63.
You still do knucklehead things.
Well, I do, and I hope I never stop. I never want to stop doing knucklehead things because in my mind, I'm still 21.
But prank calls back in the day when I was a kid, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And
when you're a juvenile.
But when cell phones came out, I was somewhat robbed of boys calling the house when Erica was in high school because they would call her cell phone. We didn't have a house phone that they would call, right? And so I'm surprised that there's this many prank calls out there.
Well, it's a bad situation. The NFL is going to have to figure this out because, look, there's a lot of computer geniuses out there, that sit around in mom's basement and that they're on the computer playing video games and hacking people's phones.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL is going to have to come up with something. And I don't know what they're going to do, but this phone call thing, which is a really cool thing because you talk to Jerry before your name is announced, you know it's coming, and that's going to have to go away. It's going to have to go to something else.
FaceTiming could be a little bit more likely now that it's all going to be FaceTime. I don't know, call your agent's phone. But they will adjust because there's too much of it going on.
Or maybe a code word. If it's a team, you got a code word. This is Agent 007 calling. You got to have a code word.
I mean, look, who was the dude that was taking a dump when they called and his mom had to answer the phone because he was in the bathroom? Right?
I mean, you got to go, you got to go.
But you don't know when the call is coming. I don't know.
Yeah, there's going to have to be something done.
There will be now.
Yeah, have to be.
There will be now. Take the fun out of everything.
I just solved it
right
was, there.
Yeah, Quishon Judkins, he was taking a dump. Wasn't in the room. Phone rings. Mama answers.
Funny he went to the Browns.
That is funny. Guy's pooping and he goes through the Browns.
There's jokes to be made. Some of them just write themselves.
That's true. And I didn't think of it. I can't take any credit for that. That's all Pledge. I think he's been thinking about that, waiting to use that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to the Browns. Where are you at? Number 2.
Speaking of number 2.
Here we go.
He's on the verge of an early vacation. I can't wait. The Denver Nuggets just one win away from sending Kawhi home.
We can hope. The world's shortest tenured Nuggets fan is about to see his ride end as a fan of said Denver Nuggets.
That's true.
But
That's
it would be a successful fandom career for you.
Very true. I have been a huge Denver Nuggets fan since I realized they were playing the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs. After that, I don't give a damn what they do. But as long as they win this series and send number 2 to the toilet.
Yeah, lots to talk about with the NBA last night. End of the Indy-Milwaukee game. You talk about a choke job. Good Lord, Milwaukee. Although, maybe Giannis becomes a Spur.
I can't believe Milwaukee kept it that close. I really expected them. Without Lillard, I expected them to fold. They didn't do it. You got to give them credit.
They should have won that game.
Well, they should have.
40 seconds to go. You're up 7. How do you not win? And then everything with Tyrese's dad after. Talk about a bleep show. We had all that. But more importantly, while it wasn't unanimous, 92 out of 100 first-place votes. The Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle of the San Antonio Spurs. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I want to talk a little bit about Stevens Roofing. I love talking about Stevens Roofing. my favorite company in San Antonio. They're a family-owned, local company, locally based, that's for sure. And the good news about that is you'll always be able to get a hold of them. They do some work for you. You've got a question or a problem, you call them, they'll come out and they'll fix it. A lot of these companies are not based in San Antonio, and you call them, it's going to take 3 weeks for them to get anything done. That's not the case with Stevens Roofing. And I tell you what, this time of year in San Antonio and South Texas, it can be kind of dicey, can it? With thunderstorms popping up, rolling in. We've been threatened with rain, it seems like, for the last 2 weeks. You want to make sure your roof is safe, it's up to par, it can handle whatever Mother Nature has to throw at it. Well, Stevens Roofing can help you do that. They know the kind of weather that we deal with because they live here. But if you call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994, they're going to send a crew out to your house. They'll give you a free, no-obligation roof inspection. That's a good thing because they'll let you know, hey, your roof is in pretty bad shape. You could probably use a new one. Or there's a little piece over there in the corner that needs a repair. We can handle that for you. Or they might just say, you know what, your roof is in great shape. Hope you have a nice day. Either way, it's all going to give you the peace of mind that you need and that you want when those storms come rolling in. Stevens Roofing, the absolute best in the business, been in business in San Antonio, South Texas for a long, long time, and they are not going anywhere. You can trust Stevens Roofing, so why don't you give them a call? 210-785-0994.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we're dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Join us for San Antonio's premier fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by HEB, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta!
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-471-5897. 800-471-5897. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-471-5897.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states. When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You're listening to The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Tomorrow, The Blitz is going to be live out at the Rocket La Cantera. Taste of the North Side, benefiting the Brighton Center. Tickets are available. Save some money on those tickets. Use promo code BLITZ50 at checkout. Save you some money on those tickets. And come fiesta with us tomorrow out at the Rocket La Cantera, which was also the site yesterday for the surprise Rookie of the Year announcement.
Surprise?
Surprise!
Yeah.
It wasn't unanimous.
No, of course not. We knew it wasn't going to be, but I think everybody's happy today. I haven't seen anybody moaning and groaning because it wasn't unanimous. But to have two back-to-back Rookie of the Years, I think is impressive, and props to the Spurs. Wemby was a no-brainer. Not taking anything away from Spurs brass, but you draft Stephon Castle, and he's turned out to be a stud.
Well, and again, not the number one pick, and still wins Rookie of the Year. Now, Chris Rankley tweets in at Joe Reinagel 210 at Jason Minix. Back-to-back Rookie of the Year honors and nothing to show for it winning-wise. Spurs need to start winning next season. No excuses.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no argument. No argument. Because even during the announcement yesterday, they do it on TNT, Charles Barkley really does like the future of the San Antonio Spurs.
Tell you what. Yes. When they get healthy,
oh my goodness,
with him and Wemby and Fox,
yeah,
they got a nice some building blocks down there, serious building blocks.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's right. They found their foundation. They've got it. Wemby, Fox, and Castle. And now what are you going to add around them? That's the secret now and the key to it all.
And that's if you understand what the Spurs have. Because I'm not even sure Charles Barkley understands what the Spurs actually have on their roster.
The recognition factor for Stephon Castle, playing on a team that didn't make the playoffs, but he was the Rising Stars MVP. He was in the dunk contest. He opened a lot of eyes to.
Well, he's had a terrific season, but we don't. Have we had any Spurs game this year?
Yeah, we had Wembanyama on. Yeah, we had Wemby on.
Okay, so we don't get to watch him play a lot. But he had a terrific season. The All-Star weekend was really his breakout party when people are like, oh, but guys who in the NBA are like, oh, he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Well, if you didn't bash San Antonio so much, we might.
I like San Antonio. It's a great city.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You didn't remember watching him play. Come on, Chuck.
Oh, man. Yeah, look, the future is bright. There's no doubt about it. You don't have two Rookie of the Years back-to-back. Without having a pretty good roster, at least of young fellas. So add to that, and I think this team we should be watching them in the first round of the playoffs at least next year. And I'm not talking about play-in getting there. They should be in that top six. I don't see any reason with the talent that they've got, if they do it right and they add right to it, this team, I think, can be a playoff team.
Which is why, and we've been talking about it so much lately, we've got to figure out what the direction is at head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. I know the Spurs will have a press conference at 3 o'clock today for Stephon Castle winning Rookie of the Year. We plan on bringing that press conference to you live here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Everybody pray to the technology gods that it all works. There won't be an announcement today at all. I would be stunned because this is Stephon Castle's moment. Calendar flips tomorrow to May 1st.
Yeah.
And so at some point, We've got to figure out what direction we're going. Then we're going to find out where are those lottery picks going to be. There's 2 of them for the Spurs. And then free agency is going to begin, and you're right, but you've got this great nucleus that you have assembled. You mentioned that first time back-to-back Rookie of the Years since Minnesota. Now, Minnesota is playing well tonight. They could eliminate the Lakers. They're playing well lately, but, the guys that won those in, 2015? Yeah, they're not even there anymore.
No.
So just because you have a couple of great rookies doesn't mean you're going to have instant success like many in San Antonio are expecting. You put the right team around them with the right head coach if it's not going to be Greg Popovich, and you move forward. Expectations, though, in San Antonio, we're back to winning championships and not this watching the first round of the playoffs and, all the guys are getting tans on the beach somewhere in Costa Rica playing soccer with kids.
I think De'Aaron Fox, that move tells you all you need to know about the attitude of the Spurs front office and what they're going to do this offseason. I think they're going to do everything they can to add another piece, depending on what they do in the draft and how that goes and what pieces they can add there. I think, you get a couple more veterans in this thing, a big man that can help protect Wemby. And I think this team, all health, obviously, because every team is concerned about that. But this should be a playoff team next year. I don't see any reason why not.
Well, and you look at the growth of Steph Castle this year. I mean, Wemby is incredible. Wemby is one of those that showed up and exceeded expectations. I know they haven't been in the playoffs with him, but watching what that guy does individually is incredible. Steph Castle, there were times during the year where we were mad at interim coach Mitch Johnson because why is Castle not getting more minutes? Are you stunted? I mean, let that kid go play, and he did. Well, last night on the Inside the NBA show, after it was announced that he was the Rookie of the Year and he's doing an interview with the guys, it was Charles Barkley, I believe, that asked him, you probably haven't lost this much your entire life.
We had great vets on our team that seen really every level of basketball. So, just taking every game, as a lesson, whether we win or lose, we're trying to get better from it. So just having those guys, like my teammates, just encouraging me, uplifting me, supporting me after every game, that's really what got me through all that.
He seemed level-headed dude, too, right? I mean, he seems very level-headed. And they kind of knew, right? I mean, I don't know. If Wemby stays healthy, maybe we're talking about a play-in appearance. But they weren't playing that well early enough in the season to get there. They started playing better later in the season, especially once Fox got here, and then he didn't last that long.
Well, he didn't because Wemby only lasted 5 games with him. And I said at the time of the trade, I think the De'Aaron Fox move, when they made it, was the difference between being a play-in team and a playoff team. I think if Wemby doesn't have the blood clot, Fox doesn't get shut down for surgery, those two playing together, they start gelling with everything we saw from Steph Castle, and we are looking at a playoff team, a 5th or 6th seed. And, maybe I'm delusional thinking that, but when I saw that trade, that was my thinking. Then obviously the blood clot changes everything, and there was no reason for De'Aaron Fox to delay surgery. Get the surgery now, so that when you guys start working together in the offseason, you're not limited, De'Aaron Fox. I thought that was smart and sends you to the lottery. Again, smart by the Spurs with the way they handled this year, but I do believe their expectation this year was to take that next step because they don't skip them here, but situations happen that cause them to bring a step back and hit the ground running in the next season.
They went in the De'Aaron Fox trade was great. It was a great move. They've got a point guard of the future moving forward. So you're in great shape there. You've got Wemby, and now you've got Castle, and he can play a variety of spots. I mean, you look at Steph Castle, he can do a variety of things. But again, they need more pieces. You look at what they've got, and I was the biggest Devin Vassell fan there is. Maybe he's still got a spot on this team, maybe not. Keldon Johnson, I think, has found himself perhaps a home coming off the bench. He played well when Mitch Johnson moved him to the bench. So, and being the 6th man. So maybe he found a place. Maybe he sticks around. Who knows? Jeremy Sohan, not sure what he does exactly, but We'll see. So we'll see what happens with these guys, and who moves, who's here next year, who's not, and the pieces that they add. But I firmly expect the Spurs to be aggressive this offseason, and I think it all starts with the draft, and of course that all starts May 12th when you get the draft lottery and we find out where the Spurs are picking.
And you're going to hear a gazillion rumors from Giannis, who I think everybody would say, yeah, I'll make that happen, to Cam Johnson, and those rumors are starting again. As often as he's been talked about in San Antonio, at some point he's just got to come put on a jersey, right? At some point he's just going to do that. But you need another big. They need a sharpshooting three. And, man, look out and figure out who's going to be the coach, which is the biggest question in the offseason. Greg Popovich's future is bigger than any draft pick or any free agent signing or any trade that they might make, is at the top. Who's going to be the head coach? If it's Pop, cool, let us know and move forward. If it's not, who's that going to be? And what kind of fingerprints will the new head coach have on the roster building of the 25-26 season San Antonio Spurs?
And that's going to be a big deal. And I'm looking on our YouTube page, and if you haven't been there, you should go at some point in time. But Fred Villarreal asks the questions, would any reporter have the nads, the stones to ask Spurs brass? He says tomorrow. The press conference is today about the status of the coaching situation. I don't think anybody's going to answer that. I don't think the Spurs would answer that either. Not today. It's Steph Castle's day.
Yep.
And so I don't think they're going to get into that. But it has to happen. I don't know what the Spurs are waiting for or when they're going to make this announcement, but it's got to happen pretty soon. Again, May 12th is the draft lottery. So the Spurs will find out where they pick on May the 12th. And you would assume if that head coach is Greg Popovich, then okay, it is, and you don't do anything. If it's not, then the new guy has got to, I would think, be in on who the Spurs are going to take with those picks.
Let's go behind the curtain a little bit and take that question from Fred. The nads to ask. Time and place for everything. And reporters understand that. Now, there are times very sensitive questions get asked in certain situations because as a reporter, you know this is your last time to probably talk to a certain person for a long period of time, which is why Pop has gotten questions before after the Spurs have been eliminated from the postseason about his future. He's not thinking about it. He never answers that question. In fact, nobody ever really does, but it's the one time you get something like that on the record. Situation like today, it depends on who's sitting up at the podium. Is it Mitch Johnson that's going to be sitting there? Is it Brian Wright that's going to be sitting there? If it's Brian Wright, maybe somebody does ask that question, but you also understand what the answer is going to be. And right now, I think everybody knows the Spurs would not answer that question. Most of those, again, behind the curtain, and it's not about nads, it's about timing and, professional courtesy. You do the walk and talk. Where you might be able to catch somebody on the side and ask them a question. But even today's press conferences, the arrival time that they want the media there, what space is available for work, it's kind of interesting. I'd be stunned if Greg Popovich showed up at this press conference today. I don't expect him there because Pop knows that if he shows up, that steals the spotlight from Stephon Castle. So if Pop is in the building, he's not going to be anywhere near where a camera is at. Would I be surprised to hear that Pop wasn't as part of some sort of celebratory dinner? Sure, that I would expect, depending on how he's feeling. But he is not going to be sitting next to Castle today. In that press conference in 30 minutes, I would be shocked if he was there because they won't do anything to take away from the spotlight that Castle is getting.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, that's the way the Spurs operate. It's Castle's day, and they're going to let him have his day. But again, while we say that, and I agree, and somebody may ask that question, but I can predict with 99% accuracy, Spurs will say we're not talking about that today. Whether it's Brian Wright, whether it's Mitch Johnson, whether it's R.C. Buford, doesn't matter. They're not going to talk about it today. It's not going to happen. So, again, Fred, everybody else listening that think us in the Journal, reporters don't have the nads, go work with the Spurs for a little while.
Well,
and then you kind of get to know what it is. You can have the nads to ask anything you want. Whether it gets answered or not is another thing.
Well, again, it's time and place. And who knows? I mean, if Brian Wright's just hanging out before everything gets going and, Jeff McDonald or Mike Finger or Tom Worsborn go ask him something on the side, one of the TV guys, Don or Chuck or whoever, I mean, they might, but they're not going to answer that question. And I think everybody probably knows that. Sometimes, I think a lot of fans just want to hear the question asked to have them not answer it. And I get that too. It's part of it. I would be surprised if somebody did ask that today because time and place.
Well, we'll find out in about 30 minutes because that press conference is set to start at 3 o'clock. I've got to say something. The Cleveland Cavaliers their PR department deserves an award. They've got the Indiana Pacers coming in. The shirts on the seats, they're in Cleveland, say control your dad. They are geniuses. It is unbelievable. And I know it's hard to see. Maybe we'll put that out somewhere.
You could retweet that.
I did retweet it, actually. So if you want to go look at Joe Reinigle 210, you can see those shirts.
Is that real?
I want one of those. It is. It's got to be real, doesn't it?
Did they go over to Sammy's and get those done in a day?
Well, that could have happened.
I mean,
Sammy would have taken care of that.
That's comical. Let's talk about controlling your dad, Tyrese. Coming up here on the Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Before we go to break, though, we've got some tickets to give away to go see Wilco at the ESPY with Waxahachie on May 6th. You want to go see Wilco with special guest Waxahachie May 6th at the ESPY? Be caller 11 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them at livenation.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. While Fiesta continues, lots of basketball. We'll talk about the closeouts.
And Rob and AJ have a date tonight for Fiesta. We'll see what to expect. It's the Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Guys over 40, tired of low energy, just not feeling like yourself? Testosterone replacement therapy by Synergenics is the answer. Don't waste time waiting for online services when you can start today. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it is covered by most major insurance. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, see a medical provider, and feel great today. During April, the consultation is free. Why wait when you can be seen now? Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Feel like you again.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles?
It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. Or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. If you're listening online, sasportstar.com through one of the apps. However you're tuning in on this Wednesday, appreciate it. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. I don't care if it's real or not. That photo that you just retweeted at Joe Reinagel210 is funny as hell.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe. If it is, though, the Cavs PR deserves an award, without a doubt.
Control your dad is what the shirts say, which is comical because at the end of a, I don't know, great game, colossal collapse, total choke job, whatever you want to call it by Milwaukee, things got weird with Giannis after the game. Tyrese Halliburton's dad was taunting Giannis. Now, I think we've all seen him. Dude, he would kill you if he wanted to. Let's all commend Giannis for restraint because that could have been bad. And then Giannis explaining the altercation after the game.
I believe like being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there's can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, you gotta talk and you know it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree. I've won the championship. They haven't. Okay, and that doesn't even say anything. I'm not trying to minimize their effort, but I remember when I won, my mom that she's never missed the games from February 11th or 13th when she came in Milwaukee against the Knicks. She never missed a game. When we won the championship, I remember my mom, she was scared to cross. She was like, am I allowed to come and hug my son? I see, except now my brother does media. For this year, he wants to come back and play. But like, except in that, you've never seen my family like see courtside. See, this is not something that we do. We don't. I try to keep my family away from the game. But losing the game, emotions run high. Having a fan, which at the moment I thought he was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's son, which I love. Tyrese, I think he's a great competitor. He was his dad, sorry. Coming in the floor and showing me his son a towel with his face. This is what we do. This is what we effing do. This is the F we do. I feel like that's very, very disrespectful.
I agree. It's very disrespectful. Look, people get caught up in the emotion all the time. And I'm assuming that's what happened to Tyrese's dad. But you can't do that. And look, some of this has got to fall on the security at the arena.
Yep.
And the NBA. I mean, they have got to have better control where people just can't come out of the seats and onto the floor and confront a player like that. So a big part of that, look, is on Tyrese's dad, but the other part is the NBA and security at that arena. They've got to be better.
Now, John Halliburton, Tyrese's dad, in an interview with the Indy Star today, said, quote, I was in the moment. It was in that dad proud moment. You know what I mean? And I just reacted because my son, he just did something very incredible, and I just jumped. And I'm sorry for being proud of my son? No, I'm not going to tell you that because I'd be lying. But I was wrong for going on the basketball court because I shouldn't have ever done that. Do I apologize for going on the court? Yes, I do. He did also say that Giannis's version wasn't exactly accurate because while he was waving a flag with his son's picture, he says, I don't cuss. I never swore at him. Absolutely never. I don't swear. Everybody who knows me knows that I don't swear. I can't stand it. It's on the record that I say things to my son when he swears on the basketball court because kids are watching him. I don't do that. I don't believe in it. Okay.
Somebody was probably saying the F word, and maybe Giannis just took it as that's who was. Who knows what the real story is, and maybe it'll come out. Maybe it won't. It doesn't really matter to me anyway because you got to control the fan base better than that. They can't be allowed to jump down on the floor and get in players' faces.
Now, apparently Dad sits courtside every game. I didn't know that until today. And a lot of times family members, they got passes to go to the family room and different things like that. And game is over, you want to celebrate. A lot of family oftentimes is allowed on the court. We've seen it. They've got to change that rule now because of what John Halliburton did. And Tyrese, who are, late last week, talked about as being the most overrated player in the NBA by his peers, had one hell of a playoff series, had one hell of a close to that game last night that allowed Indy to win. And instead, in his post-game press conference, he had to explain the actions of his old man.
As far as the incident between Giannis and my pops, I had no idea it happened until I got to the back and was showed the video. Me and my pops have talked about that, and I don't agree with what transpired there from him. I think basketball is basketball, and let's keep it on the court. And I think that he just got excited, saw his son make a game winner, and came on the court. But I think we had a conversation, and I think he just needs to just allow me to just play basketball, stay over there. I'll come to him to celebrate. But I think it's the emotions of the game just got excited there. But I talked with him. I'll talk with Giannis eventually about it. Just I don't think that my pops was in the right at all there, and unfortunate what happened in the end there. But I mean, this series was a lot of war of words, a lot of war of antics, a lot of stuff going back and forth, and that's just part of this rivalry and what we've built here over the last couple of years. And it's unfortunate what happened there, but I think it's just competition. And as far as my pops, again, I don't agree what happened there. We'll have a conversation. Everybody's grown men, and we'll just go from there.
He handled that perfectly.
Yep.
I think he handled it perfectly, and he's exactly right. Dad got all bent out of shape because the emotion, the game winner, it went into overtime. It was a thrilling game, and he got caught up in the emotion. But he apologized. And then Tyrese Halliburton apologized again today. So they're all apologizing, and that's fine. That's great. But had that been just a whack job fan, they could have done something to Giannis or anybody else for that matter. So security's got to do a better job when it comes to that. And I don't care if Halliburton's dad wants to come down and celebrate with Tyrese, that's great. But it's got to be worked out, and it's got to be done. You can't just run out onto the court willy-nilly. You just can't do it.
How fortunate is the NBA that Giannis controlled himself? Now, you're watching that, and you see Giannis kind of grab him by the arm and go head-to-head with him. Well,
lucky Giannis is a chill dude.
Well, I mean, so imagine if it was Draymond Green.
Oh, my gosh.
Draymond Green is an easy person to target like that because, you can get under his skin. There's a lot of guys in the NBA that might not have handled that well. And while it happened in the UFL, think about Puka Nakua's brother. And hell, nobody even, I don't know his name. What's his name? I don't know. It's Puka Nakua's brother.
That's it.
He's in the UFL, right?
All you need to know at this point.
He slapped a fan over the weekend. That could have gone so ugly. It is the Pacers, malice in the palace. That could have gone so many different ways for the NBA last night. They are fortunate. The league is fortunate that Giannis was able to keep his emotions in check enough not to just start wailing on that dude.
Well, and yeah, you're exactly right. Had that been any of the guys that you just mentioned, and even on our YouTube page, Claymore says Charles Oakley. Can you imagine a Charles Oakley? I mean, Halliburton's dad would have been on the floor. I mean, there wouldn't even been and would have had every right to do that. And these players have got to protect themselves, and you cannot allow fans to run onto the floor. That goes with the security at that arena and the NBA security, and they have got to be better than that.
Yeah, Ron Artest is being thrown in the mention, Steven Jackson, Dennis Rod. I mean, think about it. I mean, Giannis is very chill. Dude's lucky. And I don't know that he, in that particular moment, cared who he was taunting. He was just in the mood to taunt. And he's lucky he picked Giannis, who, by the way, is the biggest dude out there.
Yeah, he's
that
huge.
guy.
Yes.
That guy would have just, think about like Russell Westbrook. Let's see, Metta World Peace. We're getting all kinds of names. Maurice Lucas. The list is long of guys that you don't want to get pissed off and get into a fight with. And Claymore might have said it best right now. Twitter behavior unchecked spilling onto the court. I mean, that guy was, you go after anybody you want with keyboard, right? Not in person, like I said, NBA very fortunate. Will be very interesting to see how the NBA handles that, whether the Pacers get fined as an organization for allowing that, their security. Tyrese gets fined since it was his family member, so technically he's responsible for him because the idea of, sure, he had a past that's associated with Tyrese, and let's face it, organizations get fined, dads get fined when kids do dumb things. We saw that this weekend with the Atlanta Falcons.
And we saw the fine today.
Yes.
$350,000 total, and dad's on the hook for 100 of it.
Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coordinator for Falcons, fined $100,000. Now, you got a college-age kid who took Shedeur Sanders' phone number from your iPad, apparently unbeknownst to you. And that's the story that they're sticking with, so let's go with that. The Falcons as an organization, $250,000. I don't know how you punish your college-age kid. Can't take their TV or car, turn off their phone. What do you do?
I don't know.
You don't get that $100,000 back. Jeff Ulbrich, though, apologizing today to everybody under the sun.
To publicly apologize to Shedeur and the Sanders family for what occurred. Second of all, I want to publicly apologize to Mr. Blaine, Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, and the entire Falcons organization. My actions of not protecting confidential data were inexcusable. My son's actions were absolutely inexcusable. And for that, we are both deeply sorry. The NFL has taken action, and I fully respect the punishment. We take full responsibility, my son and myself, and we will not be appealing the fine in any way. Going forward, I promise my son and I will work hard to demonstrate we are better than this. Again, I'm deeply sorry for our actions. Obviously not happy and shocked. So I made the Falcons aware of the situation, and then our next course of action was to try to get a hold of the Sanders family so we could apologize in person, which we were able to do. The Sanders family, Shedeur and Coach Sanders, were amazingly gracious, more gracious than they needed to be in a moment like this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And they were.
$100,000 and a lot of crow to eat.
And they were. I just think, and I get it, this is an easy target because the NFL knew who it was and they admitted to it. But Shedeur wasn't the only one that got pranked on draft day or draft weekend. And so, the NFL needs to do something about that. Look, I don't care if you think it's funny, if you think it was harmless. I don't really give a damn what anybody else thinks. The fact of the matter is, when you're chasing a dream, something you've worked for since you were a kid, and you're up there on that stage, you're expecting a phone call, and you get some idiot prank phone calling you, it becomes not funny at that point in time. In my mind, it's not. It's not funny. These kids, that's their moment to shine. And a dream come true, and some moron, just because you'll never be an NFL draft pick, you're going to ruin their moment? It's ridiculous.
It is. It was funny.
It's not funny. What's funny about it?
I get where college kids doing knucklehead things. You're right. Everything you said, I agree with. It's almost like when you see a video of somebody falling down the stairs, man. It sucks for them, but you laugh, right? But there were multiple people that were pranked during the draft.
Yes.
We know one has been caught. And the NFL has set the punishment barrier. If we find out who pranked, Abdul Carter, and whoever leaked that phone number in their investigation, they're going to be able to find that out. And we know that, $100,000 to the coach, $250 to the organization, because they can't treat a fifth-round pick any different than a first-round pick. Jeff Ulbrich is lucky he still has a job. Just from and I know what you're saying, really, but yeah, because it was confidential information on a work iPad that you left unsecure, and your kid was able to get into it. What other info did he potentially leave exposed that his kid could get there? Now, you could talk about, the Giants GM, his kid last year who didn't want to trade Saquon on Hard Knocks, posted highlight videos on his Instagram story of Jackson Dart. How secretive are these things? The night before the draft, Joe Shane's kid is posting videos and highlights of Jackson Dart like he knew what they were going to do.
Well, look, and I don't know. Some of these guys are smart. And maybe, the other players that you're talking about, Abdul Carter, I think, was probably the highest draft pick that this happened to. People can get those phone numbers. If you look hard enough, I'm sure you can get somebody's phone number if you want to. And I'm sure that that's what happened. And I don't know if there's any way to punish any of them. But now the NFL needs to do something to stop this kind of crap, because it's, I'm sorry, if you don't think it ruins, it does. Who knows whether Shedeur Sanders or Abdul Carter or Joe Blow. Doesn't matter. You're expecting a phone call, you get one, and you're the biggest news of your entire life, and it's some moron, pranking you.
And again, you think about, I don't know. Most of our kids could probably get into our phones and iPads. I know mine can. My kid wanted to get somebody's phone number off my phone. She could easily do it, right? But most people in these positions, their kids understand what they do and the privilege that they have because of what their parents do, and don't risk it all. I mean, Jeff Albrecht's kid risked his career. He's lucky he didn't get fired.
True.
I don't know how you spank the hiney of a college kid, but if that was Joe Reinagle's kid, that's exactly what would have happened.
Well, it depends, right?
Public flogging.
It depends. If you're still paying the bills, a lot of things could happen there. And so, yeah, I mean, something's got to happen to that kid, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There would have been a public flogging.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just lost $100,000. Guess what, man? That nice apartment you're in, you're moving. I can't afford that lease anymore.
It's a nice spot under the bridge over there.
You wouldn't do that to
I'll
your
throw
kid.
you a blanket. They cost me $100,000?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Here's your new car.
Uh-huh. New car, my behind.
Yeah. A nice, gently used 1978 Buick Skylark.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Dude.
Hope it runs.
I don't know. Everybody thinks that I'm crazy and taking this too far, at least our folks on YouTube, a few of them, but I really don't care. I mean, just think if you were expecting a phone call from your boss about a promotion or a raise, or you're trying to get a new job and some moron calls you and says, well, you're sorry, you're fired. Is that funny? No.
No.
It's not.
Stephon Castle is the Rookie of the Year in the NBA. His press conference will start any minute now. We're working to bring it to you live here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So I'm going to clue you in now. It's 2:57. I expect Castle to be talking at 3:11. So we probably won't play any 3:11 music or remind you at 3:11 to be caller 11 to win tickets to see 3:11 at the 713 Music Hall. So if just pay attention at 3:11, just be the 11th caller, and you'll win tickets to see 3:11 down in Houston. Probably the only heads up you'll get on that. 210-656-ESPN is the phone number to call at 3:11, not 3:09, not 3:12. Well, you can call it 3:12, but you'll be a loser. Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Claire. She loves her motorcycle, and she's learned to love the insects she encounters on her rides. She may not know the difference between a gnat and a mosquito at 55 miles per hour, but she does know one thing. It's always gross when one flies into her mouth. But she's so used to it that it's weird when it doesn't happen. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back with comprehensive and collision coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Cinco de Mayo is near, and the celebration starts at Total Wine & More, your cocktail central. Whether you're shaking up fresh margaritas, sipping on a crisp cerveza, or savoring a smooth tequila, Total Wine is your fiesta celebration destination. So stop by your local Total Wine & More and make this Cinco de Mayo the best one yet. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs have back-to-back Rookies of the Year. Stephon Castle brought home that hardware. He averaged nearly 15 points a game this season. Last time, the same team had back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners was the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2015 and 16, Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. NBA playoffs tonight, Golden State can end their series with Houston. The Lakers facing a must-win game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix on this Hump Day Wednesday.
Hump Day? Yeah.
Fumble?
No, I wouldn't say that.
You sure?
Positive.
That was weak.
Well, that's pretty weak.
Can we do it better?
I'm just concerned about this press conference.
I can tell.
That I would like to make sure that we have.
Well, look, it's 3:04. When was the last press conference you went to that started on time?
Well, it's been a while. It has been a while. Usually, we're thinking about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean,
the Cowboys,
they never start on time.
The Spurs, we have all the permissions from the Spurs to bring this to you live. So when it gets started, we'll get rolling on it too.
All right.
All the various sources in which we will do that from, we're monitoring closely. Nothing yet.
Okay.
Nothing yet that I've seen. So in the meantime.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
In the meantime, let's talk about naked people breaking into homes.
Well, it only happens in Florida, apparently.
Of course.
That's where these things happen. Yeah, and interesting story. They call this guy the birthday suit bandit. And he got busted trying to break into a home completely nude. Now, can you imagine? And the lady was home, by the way. This is some lady, this is her neighbor. And this guy looks like a real creeper, by the way. There's actually video of him in the nude. But luckily for everybody, it is blurred. Well, it's just from his behind, so
yeah, the cops got him running away.
Yes, so that's a good thing. I don't know. The problem is, Minix, when I'm reading this story, this dude is 63 years old. It wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Aren't you glad that's not what you look like at 63?
Yeah, I'm really happy that's not what I look like.
I mean, no hair at all, but he's got that 63-year-old man goatee going. That's the one reason. That's the one resemblance.
Now his is a little grayer than mine.
Well, yes. You can tell he adds no pepper.
I don't add pepper either. I try to cover that. No, that's not right.
You add
salt.
pepper.
Never
you
mind.
cover your salt. He's all salt.
Yes.
But yeah, the cop video. He's getting stopped by the cops. His hands are in the air. It's old man backside.
Yes. It is an old man backside.
His wife said, yeah, he was drinking heavily on his meds, and she went to bed, and he went to the neighbors to break in.
Huh.
In some ways, it reminds me of a series we started watching on Apple TV called Your Friends and Neighbors. If you haven't started watching that one, that's a pretty damn good show. Your Friends and Neighbors. Although he's fully clothed while he's breaking into his neighbors' houses.
I don't know. The problem, I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, this guy's a creeper, and his neighbor was at home. She's a female, and
I mean, it didn't get that far. He tried to break into the house, and she called the cops, and the cops got there.
Ill intentions of an old man.
Well, you have no idea if he was looking to steal stuff or, well, my wife went to bed. Let's see what the neighbor lady's doing.
Well, exactly.
I mean,
when that Viagra kicks in, you need a release.
Well, we know he was drunk. We don't know if he took any pills.
We don't know that.
Outside of his...
he was drunk. I didn't see that.
Did you not read the article,
well,
or you just look at the pictures? Come on, Reinagel.
I'm just saying, there's some stories that aren't worth reading all the way through.
I think this one, you have to do that. The wife, not happy. She told deputies that her husband had been drinking heavily and taking psychiatric medication. She didn't know she left the house because she said, I was kind of afraid of him. I went to sleep before his little naked trip to the neighbor's house. He's in trouble.
I would imagine so.
He's in trouble.
Dude.
He's in trouble. It looks like the press conference is about to get underway. So far, nobody at the podium. When people get to the podium, we will take you to the Spurs Rookie of the Year press conference. Now, as I said a minute ago, these never start on time. In 2 minutes, because it's now 3:09. At 3:11, and I see you guys already starting to call. Don't call now. You call at 3:11. Pledge sometimes can be a total donkey, and if you call early, he's just going to hang up on you. At 3:11, you call in, and if you're caller 11, you're going to win tickets to go see 3:11 at the 713 Music Hall down in Houston. The show is Friday night, May 9th, next Friday night. If you don't win the tickets, it's going to be a great show. You can always buy them at livenation.com. You see the podium, or we see the podium. You're driving on 410 or I-10 or 151 or wherever you are right now. You don't see the podium, but I do. When Stephon Castle and whoever's going to be up there gets up there, we will bring the press conference to you live. It's moments away. I say moments away.
We can only hope it's moments away.
They're 10 minutes late. They might be starting to walk in because now the camera is panned over to where they're probably going to walk out from. So while we wait for them to all get to the podium, we can tell you, and it's very sad news, legendary New York Mets fan Seymour Wiener has passed away. Tributes are pouring in. Pledge, is it time to go to the press conference? Let's go to the Spurs Rookie of the Year press conference live here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Try it one more time. So, Steph, the night we drafted you, these group of individuals over here all asked, why did we draft Stephon Castle? And that night, we said we drafted a versatile guard that could play on or off the ball, that was tough, smart, competitive, willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the team, was a great teammate that was happy for his teammates' success just as much as he was his own, and most importantly, somebody that was a winner. And I think your teammates sitting here today, and all of us that were fortunate to watch you play all season long, can attest that that was spot on and that's who you are. We're proud of you for this accomplishment. We hope it's the first of many. And we look forward to watching you on your journey as you go. To the family, Quan, Stacy, little Stacy, Quentin, we want to congratulate you not just for the award, but for this individual standing next to me that you raised. This is an incredible young man, bigger than basketball. And that all goes back to the values that you guys instilled and the drive that you put in him. We thank you for entrusting us with your son, and we appreciate how you jumped into the Spurs family and culture. Thank you.
Brian Wright speaking as Steph Castle is being named or honored as Rookie of the Year.
I've had the privilege twice, I got mad at you once because I don't like being on the court. I've had the privilege twice of handing you 2 Rookie of the Month awards. But I think I got a much more appropriate group to bring you this one. So everybody put your hands together for your 2024-25 Kia NBA Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and Wemby all walking out to congratulate Steph Castle as you're listening to the press conference live here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, everybody, we're going to look right here.
Posing for photos. Pretty good group right there, Minix.
That is a really good group. Good company for Steph Castle.
Yep.
Now they're bringing out a table so we can put the trophy on at the table and some chairs for the press conference. It's interesting how they've got this all set up, not just at a table and going. Chris Davis, their PR department, trying to figure out how to get the microphone to work. Now he's handed it to Steph, so I guess we'll get to the Q&A part at any moment now.
Chris has to hang on to that trophy.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just want to thank everybody else for coming out today. I mean, it means the world to see the support that I have from, San Antonio. So thank all you guys. I want to thank God, for just putting me in this position. Thank my family, my teammates, just all the, unconditional support that I got all year. Just led me to be in this seat. So just thank all you guys.
We're going to take some questions here from the media. Jacob, Spurs TV. Steph, congrats. You see the legends come through here, Big Dave, Timmy, Wemby, of course. What does it mean to just be in the group with such great players? That means so much to this franchise, this organization, and this community.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing them walk out was definitely crazy. Me just being humble, I feel like I shouldn't have been a part of that group right there. But just I mean, like I said, just the support that I get from San Antonio just means the world, and it just keeps coming in waves.
Hey, Steph, congrats. You kind of told us coming down the stretch of the season you felt like you had the award locked up, but to hear your name announced yesterday and it be official, what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I just really towards the end of the season, I had no doubt in my mind that I'd be here, but just to hear it, be official is definitely a different feeling, and to hear it, right next to my family just made it way more special.
Steph, congrats, my friend. You're a pretty even-keeled guy. We know you're not very emotional on the court, but did you ever take any time after hearing your name announced by yourself, whether thinking about the journey that brought you here to soak this in? What were the emotions that you felt?
I've been really going through that really all year. Just being, in the NBA is an accomplishment for me. So, to be where I am today, those emotions, it's hard to hold it in. So just really embracing those moments with my family. They're always around supporting. They never miss a step. So they kind of make it easy for me to, enjoy moments like this.
You're listening to the Steph Castle Rookie of the Year press conference live, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Talk about adapting to the NBA.
Yeah, just the guys that I was surrounded with, every day, they made it super easy for me to, just play my game, play comfortable, be confident in it. Because like I said, the support that I get from those guys that, behind closed doors that nobody sees is very impactful. So when I was having down games, good games, I would always get support from them, no matter what. So, I feel like, they're a big part of the reason why I'm here.
Hey, Steph, what was it like to share that moment with your family, your mom, your parents, just them at your side as your name was announced?
That meant the world. Like I said, they've been there every step of the way. So, this was definitely a goal of mine coming into the year. We can't predict the future, but, just them being there and, seeing my dream come true, it definitely means the world.
You said yesterday on the TNT broadcast you figure this kind of puts a target on your back. What do you mean by that, and are you almost proud to have that target on your back going into next season?
Yeah, by that everybody in the NBA probably seen that, I was Rookie of the Year, so coming into next year, I can't really sneak up on anybody like I did this year, so, it's definitely a blessing to be in that position. I don't shy away from, any of those moments, so, just to get everybody's best shot is definitely a blessing.
And the fact that the Spurs have two straight Rookie of the Year winners now, that hasn't happened in almost a decade. What do you think that says to the rest of the league, or what message does that send?
I think that just speaks super highly of our front office, the guys that make the decisions. Obviously speak highly of me and Vic, but I definitely think, it speaks highly of our future as well, what we have going on, and, what we plan on doing here pretty soon.
Steph, congrats. You talked about kind of sneaking up on people, but I think from the moment the Spurs drafted you, there's a lot of chatter that the Spurs might have done it again. They might have come away with potentially the best player in the draft. So to kind of go through the year and live up to whatever expectations might have been there through every month of the season, just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, when I hear expectation, I try and, just break through that wall, no matter what it is. I feel like I'm super confident in myself, as a player. I heard B. Wright say it all the time. He didn't even know what kind of player he was getting, but internally, I knew who I was. So, that's why I just, stay even-keeled, stay humble, because, I feel like, just all the work that I put in will eventually show.
Steph Castle, Rookie of the Year, the press conference. You're listening to it live here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Paul was telling us that he gave you a homework assignment. He wanted you guys watching playoff games to get to know what that intensity and that feeling felt like. Is that something that you have already sort of done and ignited sort of a competitive flame for you?
It's always been a dream of mine to play in the playoffs. I was doing that, before I got to the NBA. So, to be a part of it now and, understand, how teams play, see guys that, will play in the playoffs probably, in the future. So, it's a no-brainer to, tune into those games.
Steph, there we go. Congratulations from all of us here with the Spurs, the organization, the community, the city of San Antonio, the state of Texas. We appreciate you. We love you. Congratulations, Stephon Castle, Rookie of the Year.
Jacob Toby, the Spurs TV play-by-play announcer, concluding the Rookie of the Year press conference. And I know when you're listening and we're watching, we want to take you there. A couple of things. One, very cool to have Dave, Tim, and Wemby show up, stand there. They were kind of in the front row. Everybody's standing. They weren't at any kind of table. They brought out a chair. Now, I got to admit, I just kind of started focusing on this chair and wondering how the hell tall is this chair, because Stephon Castle sitting in this chair, but his feet don't touch the floor. His feet are dangling. How tall was that chair that they brought out?
That must have been pretty tall. That's for sure. But Castle now posing for pictures with the Rookie of the Year trophy in hand. De'Aaron Fox also in the crowd today, and he still has a brace or whatever you call that thing on his pinky finger. Of course, he had surgery on that. So still with the brace on there. And now Castle shaking hands with Wemby, Tim Duncan, and David Robinson.
And let's all credit Tim Duncan for dressing up for today's event. He actually put on pants and a T-shirt. Wemby, very colorful, ready for Fiesta. Dave looking as you would expect Dave to look, very dressed up.
Very nice, yeah, and just hugs all around now for Stephon Castle, Rookie of the Year, second consecutive Rookie of the Year for the San Antonio Spurs. So congratulations to the Spurs organization, and certainly to Stephon Castle.
And looking at some of the comments on our YouTube channel, no sign of Greg Popovich, at least publicly. Have not seen him on any of the videos when they have gone around and showed the crowd. And the fact is, somebody asked earlier about press conference, would anybody ask the brass? The way they set this up, they avoided that like the plague. Brian Wright with an introduction, and let's just take him off the stage, hand a microphone to Steph, have our TV guy ask the first question, a couple other questions. I heard Jeff McDonald ask a couple. I believe Nate Ryan got in a question. Hector Ledesma got in a question, and then back to Jacob Toby, and we're done.
Yeah, I think everybody that has anything to do with Greg Popovich actually left the room.
Yes.
As soon as the mic was handed off to Stephon Castle to make sure that nobody was going to ask any of those kinds of questions. So we'll get that. This was Castle's day.
Yep.
It's not a day, and I know a lot of you disagree, but it's not a day to ask about Greg Popovich today.
It really isn't, but the Spurs, I think, did from a PR standpoint, masterful job of making sure that nobody was able to get an awkward question that they couldn't answer.
Absolutely.
Let's talk more about it coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, go over to Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need anything done for spring or summer. The entire spring line is on display right now in his showroom, so golf shirts, fishing shirts, you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like Katie Caps, Nike, Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps in stock, just waiting for your logo. Has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries: medical, restaurant, construction, schools, leagues, and so much more. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, no order too small. And Sam is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. While Fiesta continues, lots of basketball. We'll talk about the closeouts.
And Rob and AJ have a date tonight for Fiesta. We'll see what to expect. It's the Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-885-7700. 800-885-7700.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-371-0505. 800-371-0505.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's playoff time in basketball, and to make games more exciting, make sure you download the Underdog app, one of the leading sports apps out there. And Underdog just became one of the best places to make picks during the playoffs with their extender promo. With the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one, whether your entry wins or loses. The longer the series, the bigger the boost. So download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We have a little bit of breaking news. It's kind of comical. Shedeur Sanders now has the number 1 selling jersey amongst rookies drafted this past weekend. Now, granted, this Colorado jersey has been retired. The initial jersey report had Shedeur at number 3 behind Travis Hunter and Cam Ward. But Sanders has now moved to number 1, according to Darren Ravel. According to Fanatics, the Sanders jersey is now the top-selling jersey amongst 2025 draft picks. And even though the other players had a 2-day head start on him because he went on day 3 instead of day 1, he doesn't have a number. Fanatics says that until the Browns actually issue him a number, the jerseys won't get made or shipped. But the pre-orders have him at number 1.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess, right? I wouldn't want a Cleveland Browns jersey. I don't care who's wearing it or whose number it is. But if that's what you like, props to you.
Cleveland fans are used to buying jerseys for their quarterbacks.
This is true.
They do it all the time. Kind of feel bad for old Dylan Gabriel. He doesn't even make the top 10.
No, he doesn't. Nobody really knows who he is. I mean, look, the one thing about Shedeur Sanders, everybody in the country knows who this cat is, right? I mean, everybody.
Sure.
And that was part of the problem, I think. Heard something today from on some program that a GM said if Shedeur doesn't go by the 6th pick in the 2nd round, every team in the NFL considers him nothing more than a backup.
I think that's fair.
I do too.
I mean, most of the time you're not drafting a potential starter with a pick in the 3rd or 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Now, there's a gazillion examples of those guys ultimately becoming starters. So look at Dallas. Dak Prescott was not drafted to be a starter.
No, he wasn't.
He was a developmental guy. Circumstances changed, and he got to start as a rookie and never looked back. Tom Brady, another example. Jalen Hurts was not a first-round guy. Hell, neither was Lamar Jackson, but they were drafted with the intent of becoming. And I do think, and it's fair to say because you've heard enough experts say this, but we talked about it on Friday, is when he wasn't a first-round pick, if he's not viewed as a starter almost immediately or like a Jackson Dart, we got some veterans where you're going to sit a year and then the keys are going to be yours. As a backup quarterback, do you want a celebrity? And most teams don't. The phrase that I heard from Tannenbaum was, you want your backup quarterback to blend in with the furniture.
Absolutely you do.
Shedeur doesn't do that.
No, he's not going to do that. But look, again, and I said this yesterday, and I believe it's true. I think if I'm Shedeur Sanders and I have the mindset that I'm the best quarterback in that Cleveland Browns locker room right now, then I'm going to go out and kick everybody's butt, and they will have no choice but to name me as the starter day 1. I mean, Shedeur has a great opportunity to go out there and prove everybody wrong immediately. And he can do that. He's got all the OTAs over the summer. Then he's got training camp to get that done. And if he's the guy that he thinks he is, then he's got every opportunity to win that starting job, and he can prove every one of those other GMs wrong.
He's ultimately ended up in the right spot.
Yes.
For him to be able to go and compete.
Absolutely.
Because, during the slide, where can you go where there's a strong head coach and a strong starter? And the Rams were talked about a lot. But I do think when you look at the teams that were linked to him the most, the Giants, they were out in a hurry. And there's been a lot of reports about his interview and Brian Daboll and that sort of stuff. The Raiders, Tom Brady's influence. As close as he is with Tom Brady and Dion is with Tom Brady, the fact that they passed on him multiple times really does tell you a lot because, at some point, they're in the business of winning football games. And Shedeur Sanders has so many other interests. That video floating around where he was working out with Cam Ward up in Dallas at SMU. I'm sure everybody has seen this video by now, but it's telling. I mean, it's pre-draft workout. Hey, let's go make a song. Cam's like, dude, I just play football. Oh, you don't do anything? No, dude, I just play football. And, the way they were just going back and forth, Cam, all business. Shedeur, a lot of other interest out there, including his brand. In the NFL, nobody gives a damn about your brand.
Nobody cares unless you win. If you win, then they'll tolerate it. That's exactly it. Shedeur has to go out and prove himself, maybe for the first time in his life. And I say that because he's had his dad as a coach his entire career. His entire time playing football. He's got to go out and prove himself to everybody else. And if he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder, then he really doesn't care. He needs to go out. He said he did. Said he's going to go out, and this is motivation and all of that kind of stuff. If he's got a chip on his shoulder and he wants to prove everybody wrong, he has got the perfect opportunity to do that in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, where they took him, there's no guarantee he makes it out of training camp, and that's what's crazy. A guy that was at one point projected to be the number 1 overall pick could end up being a starter at some point next year, hell, maybe even day one. You never know how things are going to work in Cleveland. Sure. Or he could get cut. I mean, and at this point, I don't think anybody would be surprised by any of it. I saw RG3 post about he had heard some coaches didn't want to draft him because, well, things don't work out, then you get fired and Dion gets the job, and there would be that immediate pressure. That's kind of chicken bleep if you're drafting that way, but you want to draft a player that you believe in. And is this guy going to help you win?
That's exactly right. And we've talked about it. It didn't look like the coaching staff of the Cleveland Browns was too excited about this pick. So it leads you to believe it wasn't their pick and could have been the owner's pick. We'll never know that, perhaps, unless somebody leaks it. But
word officially out of Cleveland was the GM's pick.
Sure,
but he had to have the owner's blessing, and maybe the coach wasn't on board.
Well, it could have been the owner went to the GM and said, "You make this pick. I'm not going to get involved." And who knows? It didn't sound like or look like the coaching staff was too happy about this. Do have some news though. The Malik Davis era in Dallas is over. He's been waived today. Malik Davis waived along with Jack Anderson, a guard, Brock Morganson, a linebacker, and offensive tackle Earl Bostic Jr. All have been waived today.
Yeah, they got to make room for all the rookies that they signed. I mean, Malik Davis is one of those interesting cats because there was a time not long ago there were people that thought he was going to be the starter over Rico. And and I was saying all along, they kept Rico around for a long time for a reason. Malik Davis, when Tony Pollard got hurt in that San Francisco playoff game, they didn't turn to him. They didn't trust him. I can't believe Malik Davis lasted this long. But
I can't either.
You know whose name you didn't just read?
He is Gadget Juice.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
That guy still has a gig.
As of now, he does, and I'm wondering why. Again, I wonder why.
He is gadget juice.
There you go.
Well, gadget juice, but they don't have any juice to gadget him up with. I mean, they don't call plays for gadget juice. Nothing. Dude, he should have been on that list.
Man,
but Malik Davis is gone.
Malik Davis.
Man. Dude, how long did that guy hang on? Has he been there 5 years?
It feels like it. I don't know. And I saw a video of Nick Chubb today working out. Dude was doing some jumps and hit his head on the ceiling. Like, dude, sign him. Knee looks all right. Sign him.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, what would it hurt? You can probably get a Nick Chubb for nothing. I tell you what, maybe it's not a need from what they did, because they did draft a couple of running backs. Yeah, but, Nick Chubb, see if he's got any gas left into the tank.
There's plenty of gas. It's just, are the wheels okay? You know, he's got a full tank, but can his wheels get him down the road?
Well, I saw that video, and I didn't see the one hitting his head, but he was deadlifting what looked like a pretty heavy amount of weight. So they look pretty fine to me.
Those guys post videos for a reason.
Yes, they do.
Nick Chubb trying to get a job now that the draft is over. Let's talk about what we saw in the NBA last night. We got a Rockets fan talking a lot of noise in our chat right now on YouTube.
Why?
Aren't the Rockets facing elimination today?
Yes. Aren't they down 3-1?
Yeah, we'll answer that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. While Fiesta continues, lots of basketball. We'll talk about the closeouts.
And Rob and AJ have a date tonight for Fiesta. We'll see what to expect. It's the Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. They listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Carbach Brewing was not born in San Antonio, Texas, but they have certainly gone out of their way to make San Antonio their second home. We had the head brewer come in, and he said when they first started to reach outside of Houston, San Antonio was the place they wanted to be, and does it show. Carbach beer is all over our great city, from their in-your-face flagship IPA, Hopadillo, to the Ziegenbach, to their best seller, the Love Street, their Kolsch-style blonde. There is something for everyone in Carbach's lineup, and it is all over the place. Of course, you're going to find it at the grocery stores. Of course, you're going to find it at the liquor stores, but it's also at a bunch of bars and restaurants around town. They wanted to make this their second home, and that's what it's become. So when you're out, you're watching the games at your local sports bar, your local restaurant, your local hangout, you're thinking, I want to elevate my beer game a little bit. Well, friend, wherever you're at, they probably have some Carbach either on tap or in cans. So when you're out and about doing your thing, go ahead and make sure to ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Simonix. Hope everybody's enjoying Fiesta at this point, whatever activities you've been to. I know Nyosa started last night.
Did, yeah.
Saw Rob Thompson was out there last night.
Yeah, he was. Looked like he had a good time.
Yes. I didn't see any pictures of A.J. Hoffman in the Nyosa photos from last night with Rob.
Well, I wasn't looking for those either.
Well,
but,
I mean, you would have saw them if they were there. I mean, they got a promo that they got a date.
Tonight.
Tonight, although.
That's the promo. We got a date tonight.
So I wonder what they're doing tonight.
I don't know.
At Nyosa?
Maybe they're back at Nyosa tonight. I don't know.
Or because they don't understand how those things work, it promotes tomorrow's show.
Yes.
And Thursday night, they've got a date because I think they're both going to join us out at Taste of the North Side.
Yeah, that might be it. Unless they have a date tonight. Maybe they do.
They could.
Those guys, pretty close.
They are.
Yeah, getting closer every day.
If you want to join us, and maybe them's, at Taste of the North Side, we're going to be there tomorrow doing the Blitz live 2 to 6. We're going to be in the Spurs fan shop is where they're setting us up, which is awesome. Inside, air conditioning, hardwired internet. We get it. We get all the toys tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, the event starts at 6 right when we get done. If you don't have your tickets yet, Blitz50 at checkouts promo code will save you some money on those Taste of the North Side tickets, which, of course, benefits Brighton Center.
Not only helping a great cause, you're going to have a hell of a time.
Yes, you will.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a great time at Taste of the North Side. I can't wait for that. Will be my first official Fiesta event. I'll be honest with you, because I haven't been to anything else.
I guess that's accurate for me, too. Probably my only Fiesta event. I have no other events planned.
I used to have a built-in excuse. Well, Spurs are in the playoffs. I'm working.
Yeah.
Don't have that excuse anymore. Haven't had it for a while.
No, you haven't.
Wow.
7 years, sir.
My goodness. And I've still been to as many Fiesta events.
It's interesting because, Saturday may or may not go to King William Fair. That's always fun. Generally, I try to do oyster bake depending on the bands, but
right.
I was at other concerts last weekend. So it might be Taste of the North Side, which is my priority event.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. And the good thing is we do our show from there. So it's quite the treat all day.
Work.
Yep.
The whole deal with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, just weird. Yesterday we were told that Jordan was going to make a statement. I never saw said statement.
Never saw that either.
Yet Bill Belichick has a statement. Although technically, North Carolina releases, quote, from University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill head coach Bill Belichick. So it's a statement or a quote. He says, I agreed to speak. I'm not going to read the whole damn thing. I agreed to speak with CBS Sunday Morning to promote my new book. Prior to this interview, I clearly communicated with my publicist that any promotional interviews I participated in would agree to focus solely on the contents of the book. Unfortunately, that expectation was not honored during the interview. I was surprised when unrelated topics were introduced, and I repeatedly expressed to the reporter and the producers that I preferred to keep the conversation centered on the book. After this occurred several times, Jordan, with whom I share both a personal and professional relationship, stepped in to reiterate that point to help refocus the discussion. She was not deflecting any specific question or topic, but simply doing her job to ensure the interview stayed on track. Some of the clips make it appear as though we were avoiding the question of how we met. We've been open about the fact that Jordan and I met on a flight to Palm Beach in 2021. The final 8-minute segment does not reflect the productive 35-minute conversation we had, which covered a wide range of topics related to my career. Instead, it presents selectively edited clips and stills from just a few minutes of the interview to suggest a false narrative that Jordan was attempting to control the conversation, which is simply not true.
Wow. Well, CBS responded to that.
Yeah, CBS then says, quote, when we agreed to speak with Mr. Bellichick, it was for a wide-ranging interview. There were no preconditions or limitations to this conversation. This was confirmed repeatedly with this publisher before the interview took place and after it was completed.
So, who do you believe?
CBS.
I don't know. CBS has been known to stretch the truth from time to time.
We're not talking about Democrats and Republicans
I'm
here.
just
We're talking
saying.
about what's interesting about Bill Belichick for CBS Sunday morning audience.
Well,
which are all dudes Belichick's age going, how in the hell did you land her? I need to know.
I don't want to know. Are you kidding me? We talked about this. That'd be fun. Then what do you do with the rest of the 23 hours and 45 minutes?
Hand her the credit card.
Exactly.
It is just so bizarre because when you hear that, like, whether CBS is right, and I don't know.
No, I tend to agree with CBS simply because when you listen to that clip, the reporter asks the question about how they met, and she just chimes in, well, we're not going to be talking about that. I don't think there was any precondition. Or the guy wouldn't have asked.
I mean,
it's not like it's national security or something.
Or I don't know. I mean, typically you don't get preconditions on an interview. CBS Sunday Morning, you're promoting a book. You're talking to Bill Belichick. You're covering the entire story. The fact that, I don't know, she left, they left, 30 minutes came back, it just seems clunky. Again, Bill Belichick's trying to promote his book. It's the CBS Sunday Morning News. Long-form interview. You're going to go over a lot of topics.
And most people want to know that, right? How did y'all meet? I mean, that's a legit question that I think a lot of people probably would like to know if you're interested in that interview to begin with, which I didn't give a damn, and quite frankly, didn't even know it was taking place. But if I did, I probably wouldn't have been watching anyway. But I'm just saying, it's like that's a legit question. And for whatever reason, she didn't want to get into that. I don't understand why, but if they're on a flight to Palm Springs or wherever the hell they were going, 4 years ago? She was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And maybe there's something a little nefarious. going on there.
What does that mean?
Well, was he babysitting? Or was she a working girl?
Oh.
I'm just saying. I don't know that. It's just speculation or throwing spaghetti against the wall.
There's all kinds of different things on the internet. Speculate. Bill's having a good time and he smiles. Well,
somebody in Claymore says on YouTube she took his balls.
I mean,
I don't know if they were deflated or not, but she took them. Goodness gracious. I feel bad for Bill Belichick.
Do you really?
Well, yeah, I do.
He's 70-whatever years old, and he's whipped right now.
He is whipped
Do you
big
feel
time.
bad, or are you a little jealous?
Not jealous at all, no. And I'll tell you why. Yes, the thought of every older guy, 24-year-old, ooh, yeah. But then what? I mean, I get frustrated with my daughters, and I can't even imagine having to live with a 24-year-old, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, for goodness sake.
What do you talk about?
Exactly. I mean, slap the hell out of them. It's like, or how could you be that stupid? I mean, it's just like, I love you girls. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Some of the things that come out of 20-something-year-olds' mouths are just like
Casey, line 3. Cassidy's on 2.
Exactly.
Well, look at all the lines laying up, man. They're all your daughters.
I'm just saying. It's like, man, at some point in time, and again, you quote Cliff Kingsbury, you got to have a conversation. Or does she just lock Bill up in a closet for the rest of the time? Come out, Bill, you can have your fun, and then you're back in your closet.
He certainly has given her a lot of power, it seems like.
I'm telling you, man. You talk about whip.
Now, we understand the powers that she does have, but I like just in work at the university. Going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very, very.
Well, there's reports out there that she put the kibosh on the show.
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. That she didn't want that, so that's why they didn't do it.
Well, it doesn't tell the full story of North Carolina since it ends at game 1. And who has creative control to tell the story? That's kind of her job.
I guess.
A lot of companies out there are looking for somebody in their mid-20s to run social media because they get it better than we do.
Well, that's true.
I mean, and it is. What do you do?
Dude.
I don't know.
And Bill, hey, you be you, brother.
You just wonder on, look at old Fred. Sydney on hold. Sydney would not stay on hold, guys.
Sydney on hold. Fred.
Sam, yeah. When you get the Sydney references this much later, you know that she has made an impact on the audience.
Well,
we'll see her again in August.
You ain't kidding, man.
Yes. Yeah, Pledge immediately brings up a photo of Sydney.
Yeah. Now, again, Fred, what do you do with the rest of the day? You stare and drool, I guess. But let's face Jordan, Belichick does not look like that.
I didn't hear you. What?
Yeah, you heard me.
I didn't hear you. Pledge was talking to my ear.
She does not look like that.
Most don't.
Right.
Most don't. So if she did, you would think differently?
No.
Because there ain't a whole lot of people listening right now that have had the opportunity to kick Jordan out of their bed.
Dude, I'm like an old dog chasing a car, brother. Doubt very seriously I could catch her, and if I did, I wouldn't know what the hell to do with her.
Joe needs a minute.
Yeah,
let's take a break.
Pledge.
It is the Blitz.
Yeah. Is that actually up on our YouTube page?
I think that's just for you.
Oh, thanks.
Up is the key word, though.
Well, everybody else is pissed.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Join us for San Antonio's premier fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by H-E-B, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta!
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Count on Kohl's for those special gifts Mom deserves this Mother's Day. Inspire her inner chef with must-haves for her kitchen, wellness essentials for her fitness routine, and jewelry for her perfect night out. Plus, you can save 15% on some of your finds and earn Kohl's Cash. Find Mom's perfect gift in time for Mother's Day at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer valid through May 11th. Kohl's Cash and coupons do not apply to Sephora. Exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for more details.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Atlanta Falcons were fined $250,000, and their defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, was fined $100,000 for Ulbrich's 21-year-old son prank calling Shedeur Sanders during the draft. NBA playoffs tonight. Golden State Warriors can end their series with the Houston Rockets. Warriors lead that best-of-7 set 3-1. Lakers facing a must-win situation against the Minnesota Timberwolves. T-Wolves up 3-1.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Hump day!
Hump day!
What day is it?
It's hump day!
Hump day!
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody.
Well, you're out of practice.
I am out of practice.
That didn't sound good at all.
Well, what sounds good? Hump day!
Hump day!
Well, better than no camel guy over there.
Caleb?
Yeah.
But the first two you did weren't.
Well, dude, it's...
What?
It's April 30th, all right? Month's over.
So you slack on the last day of the month?
Slacking off, yes.
I mean, the reality is you tried to make that a thing because you think you sound better than that dude.
Well, I do.
Not when you don't give maximum effort.
I sound better than that dude. And
Hump day!
if Geico wants to bring that back, they need to come talk to me.
Can they afford you?
Well, there's that. They might not be able to. I know I'm pretty good when it comes to hump day.
Hump day.
See,
yeah.
See, it sounded like your day sounded like it was going into puberty.
What are you, a hump
critic?
A hump critic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many humps have you judged, Minix?
You know, there's things that you don't talk about on your resume.
I see. Well, I mean, besides looking in the mirror after you get done. That was great, Jason. You were a stud. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What the hell?
I don't know.
Sometimes I wonder what goes through your mind. Honestly.
I wish I knew. It just come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me. Without thought.
Yes. A lot of times, yes.
Totally. Totally understand, man.
Oh, my goodness. I can hear that in there. Wait a minute. You going to put that guy on the air?
I don't know if we should. I mean, Pledge is doing a fine job of screening calls, but somehow the volume is so loud in his room. We just heard some guy saying that Reinagel needs to say.
Oh, you got to give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other things that you can't say on radio.
Exactly. That was funny as hell.
Pledge,
I can hear that dude loud and clear.
Why don't you let the fun calls in like that?
Because I like my job.
That is Pledge's job, is to screen all you folks that call in. All I heard was tell Reinagel hot two of that thing. I don't know what he meant by that.
What do you think he means by that? No, let's not answer that question.
We weren't talking about hot twoing anybody. We're talking about humping. There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
See, hump day is just a fun day, right? There's so many ways you can go with it.
Well, how many ways, Joe?
Well, that's what I love about it. It's a fun day. It's one of those days of the week that just is fun because once you get past hump day, you're sliding into the weekend, you got Thursday, Friday, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I love Wednesday.
Some people are taking Friday off, so today's like a Thursday for you.
That's exactly right, although Thursday's not quite as fun as hump day.
See, now,
hump day.
Thursday's better than Wednesday because you're one day close to the weekend.
I guess, but see, Wednesday has you like it's like when it really starts. Monday, Tuesday, kind of. Wednesday, you start, all right. You get that burst of wind, that second wind.
I don't want to hear about your burst of wind. In fact, if you have bursts of wind, you need to leave the studio, sir.
Well, uh-oh.
Shedeur Sanders has been selected again. What was that, Pledge? Good Lord.
The Cleveland Browns have taken the burst of wind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, we got a good conversation going on in our YouTube chat right now.
Focus, sir.
No, it's a good one because they're talking about what would it take, who would you trade to get Giannis?
Everybody.
Well, and typical Spurs fans, I love you all. They give them a bag of chips.
All right, fair question then. Serious sports radio, spaghetti on the wall stuff. Wemby is off limits.
Okay.
De'Aaron Fox is probably off limits.
We're talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Would you trade the guy that just won Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Me too. The only Wemby, non-starter. De'Aaron Fox just got here. I think those two are part of the future. You add Giannis into that, Stephon Castle, and congrats, Rookie of the Year. Enjoy Milwaukee, my friend. You're not going to say, and I'm seeing it here on our YouTube chat, and Fred generally has some pretty intelligent takes, but trade Devin, Keldon, and a couple of picks.
So that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
maybe we'll throw in a hot dog too, Milwaukee.
Well, dude, you can't just be a regular bag of Fritos. It's got to be the chili cheese Frito type. Again, it's got to make sense for Milwaukee. I know we got a ton of first-round picks coming up, and that does factor in. Does Milwaukee want picks or players? Because they are so maxed out right now, and they are stuck. Maybe Fred is on to something, that a couple of decent players be competitive, but, I mean, honestly, Wemby's the only untouchable. As much as I'll say De'Aaron Fox, if he's got to go, sure, depending on what you're getting back. There's only one untouchable dude on this team.
Well, and again, a guy like Giannis, and I say San Antonio wouldn't be a spot for him, but he's been in Milwaukee. So another smaller market in the NBA, I think he would. Look, I think it's a pipe dream, but who knows, right? Who knows? But I think, look, Spurs have got to make some moves. First thing they got to do is figure out who's going to coach this team. I think that's number one, and I think they've gotten that figured out. I really do. I just don't think the announcement has been made. Second, you got to sign De'Aaron Fox. He needs a contract. So you got to get that taken care of over the summer as well, and then figure out who's expendable, who's tradable, and go from there and see what you can do.
It's going to be a fascinating offseason, which, again, to me starts with the announcement. What is the direction from the head coaching position? Pop's decision, but calendar flips to May tomorrow. At some point, they've got to make it public. Is Pop going to retire, or is Pop going to be on the bench? Can't go into this offseason or to start of next season with an interim head coach. I just don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening either, but I don't know. Again, all respect to Greg Popovich. If he thinks he can do it, I think he deserves that shot. So, I mean, regardless of what we think or anybody else thinks, Greg Popovich has earned that right. He's a Hall of Famer, but I think Pop loves this franchise as much as anybody, and he wants the best for it. And if he doesn't feel like he's the best for it, he will step aside.
Brahma fans, Little change in the schedule today because of weather up in Dallas. Peyton Party will join us at 5, not 4:30. So we're pushing that to 5. We'll talk some Brahmas coming up. But let's talk some football coming up in UT's budget for football.
Gosh. Yeah, let's talk about that.
This, college athletics is really changing. When you see some of these numbers, let's talk about it. Now, you keep calling it hump day because it's Wednesday.
It is.
It's also steak night at the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. You want to go in and get yourself a fantastic 12-ounce Minix ribeye, the potato, the salad for $19.95. You can't beat this deal they've got going on Wednesday night steak night at the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Want to watch the games tonight, the playoff games tonight, hockey, basketball, you name it, they've got it. 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. They got the big fights this weekend, both Friday and Saturday, the Kentucky Derby, and when you get into the Rue, go hungry. Now, it's steak night tonight, so, their wings, fantastic. The fried shrimp, best in town. 15 different burgers on the menu. They got the Wemby burger. They've got that bison burger that's incredible, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. And tonight, it's steak night at the Rue Pub. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, although Renee G reminds me it is now 4:20, so he'll be distracted for a couple of minutes and then incoherent the rest of the show.
Yes, but that's all right. Good for him.
Oh,
that's who's teaching our youth.
Well, they're college kids.
I guess so. That's fine.
Yes.
Nice.
A professor at UIW. Speaking of high, the numbers for the Texas Longhorns football program are insane. According to the Houston Chronicle, Kirk Bowles, hard to get any more respected than Kirk Bowles when it comes to Texas Longhorn coverage. With the addition of 10 football players from the transfer portal and probably one or two more on the way, the budget for next season's Texas roster has grown. Currently sits somewhere between $35 and $40 million, which counts the likely revenue sharing allotment expected to be $20.5 million, as well as payouts through the Texas One Fund, a connected source tells the Houston Chronicle.
That's outrageous. I mean, is it not? Now, granted, this is a temporary salary cap, if you will, or amount that they're going to spend.
There is no cap, sir.
No, there's no cap. Because once revenue share kicks in, if in fact it does, and there's been no ruling on that just yet that I'm aware of.
Not yet.
But once you're in, right? And Texas can, and any other school. So you have to imagine, Texas comes out and you get a report like this, then Ohio State, I'm sure they're spending about the same amount. Alabama, Texas A&M. I mean, name any big school. And if they've got the pockets for that, they're going to do it. The problem is you're going to spend all that money. Last time I checked, there's only one team that is a national champion. So somebody's going to spend a hell of a lot of money and be very disappointed.
Well, they will. And, I mean, think about 35 to 40 million. And there's no way to verify these numbers, which is always the difficult part. There's groups out there that try to guesstimate, and that's what we go with. But the reports were last year Ohio State spent $20 million. They did win a national championship. The Longhorns have essentially doubled that. But it's a one-year deal because Chris Del Conte said they plan to phase out its collective in favor of the revenue sharing model when that House settlement becomes a deal. And then name, image, and likeness payouts are going to go through corporations because what they're doing, it's just not sustainable. To your point, there's one national champion every year, and at some point, the guys that are writing these big checks are going to get tired of writing these big checks, especially when championships aren't coming. So it's not a sustainable model, and I think everybody knows it. So reality at some point, whatever that new reality ultimately looks like, will be in place in the next 2 or 3 years, I would imagine. Because even when we talk to Joe Paterno's son, Jay Paterno, who's on the board of trustees at Penn State, he said their rich donors are already tired of writing these checks because they don't get a name on the building. They're not getting much for it. Now, you think about name, image, and likeness. The idea wasn't pay for play, which is what it's turned into.
Right.
It was if Ansira wants to pay a player to do a car commercial, they could do that. We saw Quinn Ewers doing commercials for a lawyer. Arch Manning apparently has not taken a dollar from the University of Texas. Neither did Quinn Ewers. They got all theirs on their own through marketing. Arch Manning, he and his family has acquired all his deals with no help from the university. So I don't know if you factor in Arch Manning and whatever he's making into that 35 to 40 million that the University of Texas is paying their players.
Well, it's incredible to me. And look, I'm not naive, right? It is what it is. And players now are most of players are now more concerned about how much money they're going to make as to what uniform they're going to wear. And so the loyalty, say, to the University of Texas is not there, perhaps. It's all about making sure the check clears. So you're not, when you leave there, you're not hey, hook 'em horns. You don't give a damn, because you're probably going to end up, and we saw this in the draft. Well, he played a couple years at Oregon, and then he went to Penn State, and then, he finished his career at Alabama. And that's what's going to happen. There's going to be no loyalty to anybody. Who do those guys, when they're rich donors, who do they donate to? All four schools? I mean, that's what's happening here. You're just bouncing around, and none of these guys are going to have any loyalty to any of these schools. It's not about that anymore.
It really isn't. And quite honestly, if you're a player in this situation, you're loyal to the next paycheck. And, there might be a reason you go, but there is still an art to recruiting and creating relationships. And we hear that from Jeff Traylor at UTSA.
But he has to.
But a lot of guys, at some point, I don't even know how much the recruiting process is actually dealing with the player and the coach as opposed to the general manager and the agent, because it is complete free agency. So if I'm a star linebacker and I'm in the portal, I'm looking at where am I going to go where I can start right away that's going to pay me the most money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's cold there and it might snow. Okay, who else is on my list? And I'm going there. And it really doesn't matter about the name of the school or the logo on the helmet or who the head coach is. It's how much? Sure. And if it's enough, I can buy a coat and I can learn to deal with cold. It is it's crazy to think that these kids, 18, 19, 20 years old, are commanding that kind of money. And it was a story over draft weekend. And Luke, we can all point to Quinn Ewers in the hunting lodge photos, thinking that guy would have made more money in one more year of college football if he hit the portal than if he's a seventh-round pick. Seventh-round pick might not even make the team. Now, I think Quinn does, but Quinn's not the only one. Shedeur Sanders lost a ton of money. Again, not the only one. A lot of those guys that were taken in the 5th, 6th, 7th round from big schools made big money while at those schools. More money, a pay cut, if you will, from what they'll get year to year in the NFL.
No, there's no question about it. But to some players, it's still about competing and still trying to be the best. And to get in the NFL, it's about being the best. That's what it is. And so Quinn Ewers falls to the 7th round. Nobody expected that. Nobody expected him to fall that far. Certainly Shedeur Sanders, nobody expected that guy to be falling to the 5th round. Nobody expected it. So it's a crapshoot with the way college football is right now. And you just have to make that decision. And it's going to come down to a lot of players staying in college longer than jumping to the NFL, depending on where they think they're going. Cam Ward is a perfect example of that. Stayed in college, made a lot of money at Miami, and he ends up being the number 1 overall pick. And he'll make a lot of money in the NFL right away.
Yeah.
Because he is the number 1 pick. So it's a roll of the dice now. But, again, I think this revenue share is going to help. But it certainly doesn't solve all the problems. It doesn't. And, again, it's just all about who's I'm going to play. If you're a good player, a 5-star, a 4-star recruit, you're going to the highest bidder. You don't give a damn if all your family went to Texas A&M or all your family went to Alabama. if Michigan calls, they're the highest bidder, go Big Blue.
Crazy. It is insane. But for the Longhorns to be around $40 million for their payroll for this season.
Unbelievable.
Ain't no pressure on you, Sark. None. Del Conte, none. Wow. I mean, all those guys, every one of them, every drop pass, you're wondering, I mean, because not that the boosters didn't have a lot of control before. Money talks.
Money talks.
Money talks.
Hey, if I'm writing a big check, I'd like to have some say-so.
Think about that. Another wide receiver off the board for the Dallas Cowboys, Elijah Moore, signing a one-year deal worth up to $5 million with the Buffalo Bills. So their GM finally got a wide receiver. Jerry, still waiting for somebody.
Well, yeah.
Think about that. Elijah Moore could make more in college.
Well, he could. If he played at the University of Texas, he certainly would. But, again, you wonder what Jerry's thinking. I mean, Elijah Moore's not a huge star, but he's got some experience and certainly a guy that you think you could plug in at number 2 right away.
Going to be fascinating to see what the Cowboys do at wide receiver. Going to be interesting to see what happens tonight in the NBA. Couple of elimination games. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Some really good games last night, and I was half a point away from having a nice pick-em-entry turn green on Underdog. Happens. Well, half a point. That makes it fun, makes it exciting, sometimes frustrating. It is what it is. But I'll play again tonight because I'm taking advantage of the extender boost that they have during the playoffs, where every game a series goes, you get a bigger boost. So play the Pick'em game at Underdog, one of the leading sports apps out there, one of the best places for all your sports picks. 100,000 5-star reviews on Underdog. And all you have to do in the Pick'em game is predict whether a player is going to go higher or lower on predicted stats. And you can play for as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. While Fiesta continues, lots of basketball. We'll talk about the closeouts.
And Rob and AJ have a date tonight for Fiesta. We'll see what to expect. It's the Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to get ready for the summer season with the Quarter Moon AC $58.99 preseason special. It's a real home run. You'll have your AC ready before the summer heat hits. We'll inspect your AC's indoor and outdoor coils, filters, temperature levels, and make sure you're ready for the summer heat, all just for $58.99. So when your AC is warming up, Quarter Moon comes in like a heavy hitter.
Hey, batter, I'm gonna give it some heat.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I'm just one of millions of members of Prize Picks that play daily fantasy sports every day, and things just keep getting better. How about 2,000x on your cash today? That's right, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your best chance to add your favorite players from the court on Prize Picks lineup. And whether it's points, rebounds, assists, and whatever else, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000x your cash today. Turn up your playoff hot takes into tickets on basketball and championship winnings every day. And there's stuff going on all week. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board. They take up to 15 to 25% off savings and fun. And then there's Big Flex Friday. Those picks that don't win, you get your net losses back in promo funds up to your limit as soon as the lineup settles. Hey, there's money back. That's why I love Prize Picks. 2,000 times your money and some free ones. Download Prize Picks. Use the code Alamo for 50 free bucks. That's Prize Picks. Go run your game.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. Station is at SA Sports Star.
You having a good Wednesday?
You got nothing
else. It was kind of quiet. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Normally you hump day
Hump
in there.
day? Well, not at the top of the hour we do.
That's the big one.
We got a clock right up there, just in case you were lost on the time.
I had no idea what time is it. What day is it?
It's hump day.
Here we go.
Hump day. Yeah.
The basketball tonight should be entertaining.
Should be.
Although last night got entertaining when I didn't expect it to be entertaining. Lakers facing elimination. Reinagel would call this a must-win game.
It definitely is that. For them and the Rockets, by the way.
We'll get there.
All right.
We'll get there. Why do I feel like every call tonight's going to go LA's way? Luka's going to have a great game. LeBron's going to have a great game. And this series is going to stay alive.
Yes, I think it will stay alive. The question is, will they cover the spread? It's a 6-point spread. Started at 4.5, so I'm trying to decide what to do. What I'm sick of, and I mean this sincerely, and I welcome anybody's comment. I think I know how you feel already because we've talked a little bit about this. But everybody now coming out, oh, Nico Harrison was right. Nico Harrison's the greatest. He was absolutely right about Luka Doncic. And I don't understand it. When you play anybody, I don't care who they are, 24 straight minutes, they're going to get tired.
They're going to get tired except for LeBron James.
Well,
who didn't look tired.
He's superhuman. Dude was tired.
I mean, but again, though, that was one of the knocks on him. I don't think it validates Nico Harrison in any way.
I've already heard that today. What's the big Perkins on ESPN? I see what Nico Harrison was talking about.
Well, I mean, I think that is fair.
No, it's not fair. It's not fair.
He's out of shape, and he was gassed.
He played 46 minutes. You and I wouldn't last one.
Well, I'm not a finely tuned world-class athlete. Some might argue, Nico, that neither is Luka. But again, nothing to me would ever justify what Nico Harrison got in return for Luka. I think all of us know dude's not in the best of shape. He's proven that. So you got to coach to his abilities and his standard. I'm like, dude, you want a chili cheese dog during a timeout and a beer? Here's a cigarette too, man. Have fun. Give me 35 solid minutes, right? If you know and you're the coach what his conditioning level is, that's on J.J. Redick for making him play 24 straight minutes.
It's not just his conditioning level. You look at last night's game in the Stars, number 2, 37 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden, 37 minutes. I don't care who you are. You're playing NBA playoff basketball.
Uh-huh.
J.J. Redick has played Luka and LeBron over 40 minutes every game in this series. I don't care who you are. You're going to get tired. Luka played multiple 40-minute games and led the Dallas Mavericks to the championship. I just don't understand the knock, and all of a sudden now Nico Harrison was the worst GM on the planet, and now all of a sudden, well, I see where he's coming from. It's ridiculous.
I think both can be true. I mean, I think we all know Nico's right in the sense that he's not a finely tuned athlete. But that's okay. He's still an incredible basketball player, one of the best on the planet. But you don't trade him for a bag of chips. Sorry, Anthony Davis, to go that route. But, I mean, he did not get max return. His reasons for wanting to trade him, cool. But what you got in return is part of the entire equation in the backlash from Mavericks fans. Again, though, you know what you've got in Luka. And when you're that talented of an athlete, you deal with that and you work around it. You know, what did you say? Kawhi played 37 minutes last night. I should be able to play that dude 48. Why? Because he spent the whole year load managing for these moments.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, you know, tonight Golden State in Houston to take on the Rockets. Golden State leads that series 3-1. There's been a Rocket fan chirping a lot on our chat today on YouTube. Dude, you guys are facing elimination. Golden State, though, an old team. What I've seen from Golden State, there are a couple of these games I thought Houston should have won. Golden State's crafty, veteran crafty, and they're able to make the plays down the stretch. We'll see how much gas they have in the tank tonight. And if you're Steve Kerr, you need to end this quicker because you have an older team to get them more rest for the next round.
Look, I think Houston probably wins tonight, though. They're in Houston. And I see them winning this game. I could be wrong, but I think the Rockets will win. They'll send it back to Golden State for a Game 6, and that's where the Warriors will eventually win this thing. But I just don't know. That just bugged me today when I hear people, well, Nico Harrison was right. He single-handedly dragged the Mavericks to the finals last year when nobody expected them to be there. Nobody. And you've got a player. I think the problem is J.J. Redick doesn't trust his bench.
No.
He has no trust in anybody on that bench, but he better find it. He's got a 7-footer sitting on the bench that's not playing. And you got two big guys for the Timberwolves that you're going to have to deal with, not to mention Anthony Edwards, who is schooling LeBron James in some of these games defensively.
But, again, think about the bench and what he has.
Bronny has earned that.
Yeah,
he's got to play his guys. I mean, that's the reality. Now, last night, best game. All right, maybe not the best game. The game I was most interested in was the Nuggets and the Clippers. And I know I said yesterday, the over-under on that was like 208, 206.5, whatever it was. It seemed low. Nuggets win 131-115. Hope everybody took the over on that. Murray, what do you have? 43, right?
Murray was solid.
He was incredible.
And he played 40 minutes, by the way.
Yeah. Almost a triple-double for Kawhi. But more importantly, Denver got the win. They now lead the Clippers 3-2.
Hallelujah, baby. Go Nuggets. I love it. They needed that win, obviously going back to L.A. now for a Game 6. And I could see the series going 7 games. I mean, it's been one of the best in the first round. That Detroit Knicks series has been pretty solid too.
Well, then Detroit stays alive last night. They win in the Garden, 106-103, and every Knick fan on national TV, from Stephen A. down, just hammering Tibbs today.
Oh, no doubt. If they lose this series, he's gone. He's done. I'm telling you, he's done. I'm not saying it's justified, but he has a timeout in his pocket. This is what they're complaining about. He's got a timeout in his pocket. He's got Jalen Brunson sitting there at the scorer's desk trying to get back in, and he sits there for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
While the game was close when he got to the scorer's table, and then Detroit extended that lead a little bit while he was sitting over there. So that's what people are complaining about. Why not use that timeout, get Brunson back in the game, and go from there? That's what they're complaining about.
But that's why, Coach, I mean, to get fired over that, coaches have to make those decisions. And, again, feel of the game and when you want to use that timeout, would you need it a little bit later? I mean, they're precious, and but it did seem like a error in judgment in the moment. I'm watching it. Everybody's screaming for the timeout, from the announcers to the fans to everybody but Tibbs.
I'm saying if they get knocked out in the first round, he's fired, because the Knicks are typical New York Knicks.
Yep.
They underachieve. They simply do. And so if they get knocked out in the first round against an upstart Detroit Pistons team, Tom Thibodeau is done. I don't think there's any question about it. He's done.
Boston finishes off Orlando last night, not even competitive, 120-89. They win the series 4-1. And another series that ended in a 4-1 ending. The Pacers eliminate the Bucks, 119-118. Now, unlike the Boston-Orlando series, this was actually a really entertaining 5-game series that was lopsided when you look at the wins and losses, but the Bucks, you define a choke job. That's what you saw from Milwaukee yesterday. From the end of regulation to what we saw in overtime. And part of me, I was impressed with Milwaukee's effort without Dame Lillard facing elimination. That's a team that showed a lot of heart, and they gave a damn. And then collapsed in the final 40 seconds.
They did. But, look, they showed a lot of heart. They were dead in the water. Dame Lillard out, no help there for Giannis, and they were dead in the water, and they showed a lot of heart last night. Yes, they blew the game at the end. There's no doubt about it, but I thought they showed a lot of heart, and then comes Mr. Halliburton out of the stands in Giannis's face.
Rather bizarre.
That's one way to put it.
Very, very bizarre scene in a series that was chippy and getting chippy. And Halliburton hits the game winner. Everything should be a major celebration. And then Tyrese Halliburton's dad taunts Giannis. Now, first off, Giannis showed amazing restraint. That could have got really ugly. And then Giannis afterwards explaining what happened on the court.
I believe being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there's can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, you gotta talk and it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree. I've won the championship. They haven't. Okay, and that doesn't even say anything. I'm not trying to minimize their effort, but I remember when I won. My mom, that she's never missed the games from February 11th or 13th when she came in Milwaukee against the Knicks. She never missed a game. When we won the championship, I remember my mom, she was scared to cross. She was like, am I allowed to come and hug my son? I see, except now my brother does media. For this year, he wants to come back and play. But like, except in that, you've never seen my family like see courtside seat. This is not something that we do. We don't. I try to keep my family away from the game. But losing the game, emotions run high. Having a fan, which at the moment I thought he was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's son, which I love. Tyrese, I think he's a great competitor. He was his dad, sorry. Coming in the floor and showing me his son a towel with his face. This is what we do. This is what we effing do. This is the F we do. I feel like that's very, very disrespectful.
I love Giannis trying to explain that, man. It's a lot of fun. But look, first, I don't know what he said, and he's going to dispute that. We'll hear from him in just a minute. But the NBA, Indiana Pacers Arena security, they hold some responsibility for this. A lot of responsibility for this.
They really do. Now, it's not uncommon, especially in the postseason, for players' families to go on the court and celebrate with the player, especially at the end of a series like that. You know, apparently his dad sits courtside every game. Cool. There's a family room. Every team has it, and families can hang out in there. They get privileges. They got a special pass, and they're able to do that. If the ushers know John Halliburton, and he's often allowed on the court, while I blame security, and you're right, but if he is courtside every game and he's used to it, you know, a game ends and a lot of people walk out on the court. Most of them, all of them, generally have business on that court and conduct themselves properly. My guess is now they're going to have to change rules, not just in Indiana, but across the NBA because of what we saw. And more importantly, what we didn't see, because Giannis showed extreme control. There's a lot of guys in the NBA right now that probably wouldn't have handled that situation the way Giannis did. Now, Giannis, and we were watching, you saw him kind of grab him, bring him close, kind of headbutt him. He's staring down at him because, you know, that guy's not seemingly much taller than I am. They butted heads, but he didn't take a swing, and he could have. It could have gotten really ugly. The NBA dodged a major bullet because it was Giannis and not another player that might not have held the same restraint.
We've mentioned a few of them. One, Draymond Green. Can you imagine him doing that to Draymond Green? He would have gotten pounded. Yeah, you're right. The NBA avoided a major catastrophe here. Now, what do you do with John Halliburton? I mean, I just saw just now, big perk. He should be suspended for the rest of the playoffs. Not allowed to go to the game. Should we go that far? I think you should. I think something harsh needs to be done to tell these family members that you can't do that. You've got to conduct yourself civilized.
Well, and again, if that were a regular fan and not the father of an NBA player,
that makes it even worse.
But if that were just a regular fan that got onto the court, what's the punishment?
Oh, you're gone.
Banned from the arena. Right? Same thing. I would not be surprised if the NBA fined the Pacers organization. I also would not be surprised if Tyrese Halliburton got hit in the pocketbook. Even though it's his dad, that pass is tied to Tyrese Halliburton. Very similar to what we're seeing in the NFL with Jeff Albrecht, the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. He's fined $100,000 today. The Falcons organization fined $250,000 for the Shedeur Sanders phone number getting to Jeff's son who prank called him. You know, the organization and their security, they let him on the floor. Tyrese Halliburton, that's your dad. He has that pass because it's you. And Tyrese Halliburton hits a game winner, played a great series in a week in which he was voted the most overrated player in the NBA by his peers. And instead of talking about his great game in the press conference afterwards, he had to explain what his dad did.
You know, as far as the incident between Giannis and my pops, I had no idea it happened until I got to the back and was showed the video. Me and my pops have talked about that, and I don't agree with, you know, what transpired there from him. I think basketball is basketball, and let's keep it on the court. And I think that he just got excited, saw his son make a game winner, and came on the court. But I think we had a conversation, and I think he just needs to just allow me to just play basketball, stay over there. I'll come to him to celebrate. But I think it's the emotions of the game just got excited there. But I talked with him. I'll talk with Giannis eventually about it. Just I don't think that my pops was in the right at all there, and unfortunate what happened in the end there. But I mean, this series was a lot of war of words, a lot of war of antics, a lot of stuff going back and forth, and that's just part of this rivalry and what we've built here over the last couple of years. And it's unfortunate what happened there, but I think it's just competition. And as far as my pops, again, I don't agree what happened there. We'll have a conversation. Everybody's grown men, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah, something needs to happen to him, because you gotta set the standard. My question is, Tyrese Halliburton's kind of a tall dude. Oh, Pops is kind of short. What happened? Mom must be 7'5".
Dude. Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Come on. I mean, Giannis makes everybody look short.
I'm just saying. I mean, they got their heads together. I think Giannis got a crick in his neck. I mean, he's got to go down there and, man. I'm just wondering, where's that tall gene?
It's called super sperm, sir.
Is that what it is?
Good, strong swimmer.
I guess so. He should have entered that sperm race they had in California.
The dad?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he could win a race these days.
Well, he's very fortunate. And if I'm Tyrese Halliburton, I promise you, I'm saying, Dad, next time that's going to be somebody who's going to pound you into the floor.
Yeah. When was the last time you had to correct your dad?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, think about that. And that sucks for Tyrese.
It does. After a huge win like that to close out a series, he makes the game winner. And you're not talking about that. You're talking about your old man acting like a fool.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Brahmas interim head coach Peyton Party joins us next here on the Blitz. Here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Night 2 of Nyosa is tonight. A lot of other fiesta celebrations going on around town. Everybody's planning on having a good time. None of you plan on getting arrested, although with some of the videos I saw coming out of Nyosa last night, I think some people went there with the intent of getting into a fight and getting arrested. You get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that. Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747. Or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, leaving Nyosa, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
Guys over 40, tired of feeling tired? Testosterone therapy by Synergenics is the answer. This April, the consultation is free. Treatment covered by most major insurance. Don't wait for online meds. Walk into their clinic, see a provider, feel great today. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got NBA playoffs tonight. The Golden State Warriors can end their series with the Houston Rockets. Warriors lead that series 3-1. Lakers facing a must-win game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. T-Wolves lead that series 3-1. San Antonio Spurs have back-to-back Rookies of the Year. Stephon Castle brought home the hardware, averaged nearly 15 points a game last season, and, well, it hadn't been done since 15-16.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. You know, every Wednesday we talk San Antonio Brahmas. We call it the Brahma Weekly Roundup.
It's the San Antonio Brahmas Roundup with interim head coach Peyton Party on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And because of some scheduling changes because of weather up in Dallas, doing this a little later than we normally do, Peyton Party joining us now on the Buyers Barricades at guest line. Coach, boy, last week it was all joyous coming off that win, and then I get to the game on Sunday, and I was having a lot of fun, and then kickoff happened.
You know, that's, I think that's a very fair description. You know, life and football, they can kind of throw you some curveballs. Obviously, that certainly wasn't the outcome that we wanted or were preparing for. But, all we can do right now is just focus on fixing the mistakes and getting better going into our game this week against Birmingham.
You know, Peyton, when you look at this game, it just seemed like it kind of got out of your hands early, and it just it was hard for you to get it back under control. Is that kind of the way this one happened?
You know, I think anytime you start off a game, slow offensively like we did, you kind of, lose some of your, some of the flow of the game, if that makes sense. And so I think for us, we had multiple opportunities to get ourselves back in the game. And really it just comes down to we need to be more efficient, not only on offense, but on all three phases. And so that's going to be something that we will correct going into this week.
Peyton Party joining us here on the Blitz. First play of the game offensively, Kellen gets sacked. And I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Kellen, but from a coach's standpoint, educate us all, because I'm sitting in the stands and I'm watching, and I can't tell offensive line. They looked like they were getting dominated. Kellen didn't have a lot of time, but it also didn't feel like he was feeling the rush. He wasn't trying to scramble. Is it him and quick on decision making, or is it kind of a combination of all of that?
I think especially, not just only focusing on that first play, but really, overall offensively, anytime we were hurried or hit or, things of that nature, I think it's truly, and this is not a coach speak answer, it was truly a collective effort. As far as a collective effort of different guys at different points in time, not, in essence, not really following the scheme or not doing what we were supposed to do. And, part of that, once again, always falls back on me as the head coach and offensive coordinator is, I need to do a better job of putting our guys in a good position. But, me personally, I wouldn't put that all on our quarterback. There was a wide variety of things that externally around him weren't going right, if that makes sense. And I know that's not great English, but that's something that we are absolutely addressing this week.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, you have a few things to address this week, and I would assume that's been taking place in practice before, unfortunately, you guys head back out on the road. I tell you what, the schedule makers have not done you guys any favors, and I feel bad for you in that respect. Back out on the road. So, I mean, when a game goes like that, and I don't know what's worse sometimes, Coach, losing something at the end of a game with a field goal or getting beat the way you guys got beat on Sunday. But where do you start? What's the first step when you get back out to practice? What do you tell the team, and how do you get started preparing for the next week?
My big messaging has been, and it'll continue to be, if when you look at that game, our game against the Roughnecks on Sunday, truly at its core, we had multiple opportunities throughout the course of the game to have that outcome end up a lot differently. And so for us, it really comes down to, we need to identify what the mistakes were, why they happened, and then take, targeted specific steps to improve and correct those errors so they don't show up again. And so, one thing I'm a big believer in is, you can't change the past and we can't look to the future. The only thing that we can handle and address in the immediate is our preparation and our work this week, obviously taking the necessary steps to improve any and all mistakes that we had last week. And so that's been our big focus is you can't dwell on the past. That game, obviously that was very disappointing. That was certainly not the outcome that we wanted, but, all we're able to do at this point in time is we have to learn from the mistakes, make sure that we don't make them again, and figure out, what we need to improve on and do to be able to beat the Birmingham Stallions.
Peyton Party joining us here on the Blitz. As you look at what those steps are, you had to bench Kellen at some point in the game. Who is going to be QB1 when you line up Sunday in Birmingham?
That's something that we're going to evaluate, over the course of this week. And, I've said this before, and I will say it again, so I'd be remiss if I didn't. I believe in all three quarterbacks that we have. I think they're all very, very talented. They all have unique skill sets. And so I feel confident with the players that we have in that room. But to answer your question, that's going to be something that we're going to evaluate, this week in practice.
Peyton, and I love the way you do that and you take up for your players. You do a beautifully. But at some point in time, they've got to take a little responsibility too. What has been their attitude in practice? I mean, because losing a game like that after coming off a big win, sometimes maybe you can get down. How have they responded this week?
Obviously we literally just got off the field from our first practice of this week. And I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm very, very pleased with what we did today. And I think our players, in my opinion, we're far too talented to play the way that we did against the Roughnecks. And I think our players, they understand that and they acknowledge that. And one thing that has been really, really neat for me is, as the head coach here, has been able to see how the players, are taking some ownership, player-led, so to speak, of this program, which is something that, has always been the case, with the San Antonio Brahmas dating back to 2024 when Coach Wade took over. And so where we are right now, I'm very optimistic. I certainly believe that we have everything we need in this team to win games and to be successful. And today's practice was a really, really good step in the right direction. A lot of the things that, we need to get cleaned up and fixed, we made great strides in several of those areas today.
And that's always the goal. And this league especially, I mean, it's winning games and winning championships, but for players, how do they bounce back from adversity? I'm just curious. It's your first game in the Alamo Dome as the head coach. Wade Phillips was there, which I thought was cool, presented you with the game ball before everything got underway. A lot of talk coming in about it being Kellen Mond's first game back in the Alamo Dome since his high school days. Is it difficult at all processing all that, or is even in your mind when you see him play as poorly as he did, where you got to bench him in his hometown in that first game? Did that factor or even cross your mind as you were making the decision to change quarterbacks?
Absolutely. For me, I myself and our coaching staff, every decision that we make, we always think and start with, what's best for this team, what's best for this program, because I truly believe, that nobody on this team is bigger than this program, if that makes sense. And so, obviously that was a difficult decision, and ultimately one that I made. But of course, the circumstances surrounding it definitely add a certain, layer of difficulty with that. But at the time, that's the decision that we wanted to make as a coaching staff, and that I felt was the right direction for the rest of that game.
All right, Peyton, you are back out on the road, and you've got a Birmingham team that is pretty good. What kind of problems are they going to pose for you? What challenge do you face this week?
I think looking at the offensive side first, obviously they have a very dynamic run game. Obviously we'll see what happens with Matt Corral, their quarterback. I know he was inactive last week. He is a true, dual threat quarterback. He's really, really good through the pass, but as well as, running with his own legs. So that's going to present challenges, things that we'll have to be prepared for. And then defensively, they are, truly one of the more well-coached defenses in the league, in my opinion. They are very, very technically sound. They have an excellent front four pass rush, and they have good players. And so for us, it's going to come down to this week. We need to be detailed in our game plan and our process and plan to attack them on offense and stop them on defense. And so this is a great challenge for us, and it's one that, we're really looking forward to. I know our players are fired up at this opportunity. We've never competed against Birmingham at Birmingham, so that'll be another fun layer for us, and it's an opportunity we're really excited about.
Peyton Party, interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joining us here on the Blitz. And I know, Coach, we spent a lot of time talking about the offense because that's, offense, man. We all love offense. We like seeing points scored and talking quarterbacks and all that. And you're also the offensive coordinator and play caller. But put the head coach hat on. Your level of concern with the defense, man. They gave up a ton of yards against Houston. Third down conversions. Houston, it felt like, I didn't see time of possession numbers, but they felt like they dominated time of possession. In going against this Birmingham team, how concerned are you on the defensive side and fixing some of the issues there?
like you said, we definitely have some things that we need to clean up defensively. But as far as my concern level, I have all the faith and confidence in our defensive players as far as personnel and our coaching staff. And that kind of goes back to, obviously on offense, defense, and special teams, we did not play well enough to win, by no means or, by no stretch. And so, to that end, things that we've emphasized and will continue to emphasize this week and moving forward that I think contributed to the performance we had is, I've said before and then said to the team, football, as elementary as it might sound, comes down to blocking, tackling, and catching in essence. And the opposite of catching, of course, is, defensive backs being able to, break up passes and things of that nature. And so, to that end, we have some things that we have to clean up on both of those ends. But, I have the total confidence and faith in our defensive staff to get some of those things corrected. And, it's really difficult when you lose a game in the fashion that we did as far as the point margin. But I guess to me, where my mind is, from a head coach's perspective, is we're really, really close. And there's a lot of mistakes that are, I don't want to say easily correctable, but certainly can be corrected in an efficient manner this week. And so that's what we're starting with is, identifying what the issues are and then developing a plan. What we did as a staff yesterday is developing a plan. How are we going to correct these mistakes? Because it's one thing to point them out, but you have to have a plan, plan of action as to how you're going to correct them. And that is what we are currently doing right now.
Well, I love that, and it sounds good, and we'll look forward to this week. But the real strategy I've got to ask you about, Peyton, superstitions. You're changing your socks, your underwear, a different pair of pants, maybe a different shirt. What are you going to do different this week?
I'm a big believer. I did the same thing in D.C. as I did this past week. I'm not a superstitious kind of guy. I'm a big preparation and work guy. So, I might change up my socks. I don't know, but I'm going to keep the rest of it the same.
Hey, change your drawers too, man. Come on, do us all a favor. Everybody around you, at least wash them. Coach,
of course.
Hey, Coach, you left the door open. At what point in the week do you think you will name a starting quarterback for Sunday? Or are you going to pull that coaching trick and say you'll find out when we take that first offensive snap in Birmingham?
I think, I truly think we are going to take the week to evaluate it. You guys might not like me for this, but I am going to hold my cards a little bit close to the vest. I think we want to make sure, we truly evaluate it this week. And so we're going to kind of see how this week goes. And then, once we feel ready to make a public announcement, we'll make that announcement.
Good deal. Coach, good luck this week. I know next week when we talk, we'll get ready for another home game because those things actually do exist for you guys.
I tell you what, and, I do want to say this, and I apologize for holding you guys up, but, I really want to thank the city of San Antonio from the bottom of my heart. The fan turnout and attendance at our game was spectacular. And I'm really thankful and very appreciative of the city, showing up in the middle of Fiesta and coming to our game. And we're really looking forward to being back home in 2 weeks. And I just want to encourage the fan base. We're excited to correct what we need to, and we're excited to get back home and put on a better show, for the city of San Antonio. But I do want to thank, everybody that was at the game and everybody that was supporting us, because that was something very, very special and something I'm very grateful for.
Well, and you think about, this weekend in Birmingham, because you guys apparently love the road, but next Friday night, May 9th, D.C. Defenders in the Alamo Dome. And that's going to be a fun one because I'm sure, those Brahma types, they're going to come up with their own little snake deal that they do up there with the beer cups there, the beer snake. We can do better in San Antonio, I promise. Plus, we have more fans showing up at the games.
Absolutely. And that's why, I was proud because, last week I said it to you guys, we, in my opinion, and I am biased, we truly have the best fan base in the league. And I love our fans. I love the city. And we're really looking forward to getting back. Obviously our focus and attention's on the Birmingham Stallions, but we're really looking forward to getting back home in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Nice. Coach, have get some sleep this week. I know you got some corrections to get done, but enjoy the ride, get some sleep, and go kick some ass on Sunday.
Will do. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Peyton Party, interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. And, yeah, Friday, May 9th, their next home game.
Wow.
The D.C. Defenders.
That'll be fun on a
Feels
Friday
like
night.
it's forever away, but it's a week from Friday.
But yeah, that's kind of cool on a Friday night. You can really go out and party with the Brahmas and have a good time at the game. So, and they'll come up with some. I mean, they had $3 beers last Sunday.
They will have at $3 beers and margaritas before the game.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night.
It's Friday night.
Go party.
Yep, UFLBrahmas.com. You can. He's probably never heard that in his life.
I'm sure he's never heard that. No.
If they could score some points, we really could party. I mean, the Brahmas right now, they have the fewest points scored and have allowed the most points. That's not a good combination.
No, it's not. And it is interesting that he's not sure of his starting quarterback. And I think I wouldn't be either at this point in time. And I think if he makes a change, certainly wouldn't blame him. Why not?
I wouldn't, except for the guy that replaced him wasn't any better.
Well, he's got another one.
Yeah, who was inactive.
Yeah. So activate that dude.
Yeah. We haven't seen you yet. Get out there.
Get out there. Dude, can't be any worse.
And it had to suck for him to bench Kellen.
Of course.
In San Antonio.
Look, he's the coach. He's got to make that call, and Kellen deserved to be benched.
Dude, honestly, the kid didn't feel the rush. And again, in the stands, you don't get the benefit of replay or TV angles, but it's like he never saw the rush coming, and he took forever. Like the interception he threw, I screamed, he was open. And it was like, all right. Then he throws it, and two people could have intercepted it. It was just late.
Yeah, you gotta get better than that. Matt Corral, I was like, I wonder what happened to that guy.
Yeah, he's in the league.
How about that?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Very cool.
Think about that. Kellen Mond, at one point, third round pick? I think Matt Corral was he fourth round? I thought he was third round. Either way, second, third round. A couple of guys that were drafted high in that league and may or may not have a chance to face off against each other on Sunday in Birmingham.
And a guy by the name of Trey Lance ought to be in the league.
Ought to be.
Some reps and trying to get back in as well. Hey, I tell you what you need to do, and you can do it today, and you should do it today. Treat yourself to a Connecticut quality water softener. It is fantastic. This product is outstanding. I love the one that I have in my house. My wife loves it, and it's a game changer. It really is. And I've told you guys this before. I was a skeptic. I really was. I didn't think it could be that much better than anything else I've ever had, but I was dead wrong. It is head and shoulders better than any other water softener I've ever had. Look, Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their reputation is impeccable. And what I love about it is you don't plug it in. So it works all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even if the power goes out, you're still going to get soft water without any problem. Right now, they've got one heck of a deal going. I'm actually surprised it's lasted this long. It can't last that much longer because for a limited time, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they will install right there at your kitchen sink. It's bottled water right there at your kitchen sink without the plastic bottle. It's fantastic. They're also going to give you $400 on trade-in of your old water softener and free money. 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. You can't beat that. Don't wait. The offer has to end soon. Give Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country a call. To do that, you dial up 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. While Fiesta continues, lots of basketball. We'll talk about the closeouts.
And Rob and A.J. have a date tonight for Fiesta. We'll see what to expect. It's the Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Cool. Oh, hi. Welcome to IKEA. How can I help? Isn't this the parking lot of my daughter's ballet class? It sure is, but I see you're on IKEA.com ordering some spring items.
Yeah, I'm hosting a barbecue this week. I completely forgot I need everything.
With delivery or pickup options, we've got what you need to conveniently order IKEA literally anywhere.
Convenient. Wait, where are you going?
The next car over just placed an IKEA order too. Busy morning.
You're amazing.
Get IKEA whenever, wherever, however you want. Order from IKEA online and get affordable delivery or choose from thousands of pickup locations.
Hi. My name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, A Lawyer for Us.
For those watching on YouTube, Ryan Eagle has never looked older or whiter
Well, I was
than
trying to-
those dance moves he just made.
I was playing the drums, Minix. Come on.
No, Pledge was playing air drums over there.
Yeah.
It is the Blitz. He's Ryan Eagle. I'm Minix. Apparently,
You're
that's
welcome.
my cue to get you to call in to win tickets to go see Eclipse at the Aztec Theater. They're going to be there on Saturday, May 10th. If you don't win the tickets, you could always buy them livenation.com.
That'll be a good show. As long as they Say the words right.
Yes, Joe, they will.
Well, I hope so.
They will.
The dude they got now in the real Journey band, it's way off.
He really isn't. He's had that gig for a long time.
I know. He's getting a little cocky. This is my band now.
Well, it kind of is.
Well, it kind of isn't.
It's kind of like when the backup quarterback takes over as the starting quarterback. It's his team now.
Well, it's not his team. Cooper Rush is. Where the hell's he now? Where'd he go?
In Baltimore.
See, we've already forgotten about it.
No, he's in Baltimore.
All right. Yeah, well, he'll ever get to play there.
What number did Cooper Rush wear?
7? What was it? 10. Dude, he's dead to me. He's gone.
At one point, I think he did have 7. Caller 10, those tickets are yours. You'll go see Eclipse. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them at livenation.com.
Are you going to root for a Raven?
No.
Well, of course not. That's what I'm saying. Cooper Rush.
You're the one that brought up Cooper Rush.
He's deceased.
He's not deceased. He's very much, don't kill people, dude.
Well, he's not. He's alive. That was just
You're on the radio. You just said he's deceased. Somebody driving is going to say, I heard Ryan Eagle report that he died.
Well, to me.
It'd be like Charles Barkley killing that dude.
Cooper Rush is alive and well, okay? Just so for the record. I was just saying that as
we know he's alive. We don't know how well he is.
Well, he's in Baltimore. How good can he be?
Crab cakes for everybody.
For goodness sake.
Yeah.
That dude. He's making more money in Baltimore.
Yes. Yes, he is.
No, good for him.
The Spurs sent out a photo.
They did.
From today's Rookie of the Year deal. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll show it, but you'll find this all over social media. I believe the Spurs tweeted, frame this. And they really should. This is a great photo. And let's give credit due where it belongs. The photo by Michael Gonzalez, NBAE Entertainment, via Getty Images. This is a fantastic photo of the Spurs Rookie of the Year Mount Rushmore.
Yes. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you talk about a Steph Castle, and even Wemby for that matter. Getting in that group with legends like David Robinson and Tim Duncan. I mean, as good as Wemby is going to be, as good as he is now, I mean, you still have to look at those guys in awe, don't you? I mean, with the stuff that David did and the stuff that Timmy did, my goodness, those guys. That's quite a picture, and quite an honor for both of those two guys.
It's incredible, and really it just says so much about our Spurs organization, and they always preach Spurs family. But for Tim to show up today, for Dave to show up, Wemby, a lot of other teammates were there. De'Aaron Fox was there. Keldon Johnson was there. And, see people like, I didn't see so-and-so. Dude, it's vacation time. But a lot of guys make their home in San Antonio year-round. You go to a lot of other NBA cities, and those guys have homes somewhere else, or they would rather be in Miami or in L.A. or wherever. But a lot of these Spurs guys stay year-round. A lot of them, after they're done playing, why would I move anywhere else? And Timmy, he put on pants today, put on jeans that actually fit. It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. Timmy looked great today.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. He always looks good. That was great to see those guys.
If you can make cargo shorts look good, you're right. Timmy always looks good.
Well, I tell you, it was great to see all those guys.
Vanessa must have dressed him today.
Probably so.
You're going to get your picture taken. It even looks like the T-shirt was ironed.
Well, I don't know about that. But he looks good. No smile for Tim, though.
Well, sort of.
Maybe a smirk.
It's as much as you're going to get out of Timmy.
Well, David, he's got his Guayabera on.
Absolutely, man.
Fiesta.
He's heading to Nyosa right after.
Nice. You know what's funny about that? You see David and Tim, and you see Wemby.
Dude.
And he's much taller. That's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, it's like when Wemby first got here in that picture from dinner, his first night in San Antonio. Well, and how short Timmy looks next to Dave.
I know. It's crazy. And I remember, and you too, well, you look up to everybody. I even had to look up to Timmy.
I didn't look up to Brad Williams, sir.
What? No, you didn't. No, you did not.
There's somebody out there.
You know, I saw Brad Williams on his, I think it's his Instagram page. He was out in Vegas this weekend.
Yeah.
Performing out there.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
He's a big star.
He is he's a star.
He's so bad.
He is a star.
He is a star.
He's a star. We should use the term superstar instead of big star. I think even Brad would appreciate that.
What?
He knows he's not a big star.
He's a big star for a little person.
He's a superstar, and his
He's
star
not superstar yet.
star is rising. But
yes,
yeah. What if you're doing shows at a Vegas hotel and casino? I think you're pretty much there, right? I don't know which hotel and casino it was, but it was one of them. There are several there.
Keep talking.
I'm just saying.
Just keep talking. I hear a lot of people that play a little room in Vegas and say they're a big star, according to Reinagel.
Well, of course. But if you're playing in Vegas at a big hotel,
where do you think he was? I'm pretty sure we got a device here where we could figure this out pretty damn quick.
I want to say it was one on the Strip. I'm pretty sure.
One on the Strip. Name one on the Strip.
Let me think. I think he was.
He might have been playing.
I'm going to say he was at. It was at the Wynn.
You think he was at the Wynn?
I don't think that's right, but that's the only thing I got right now. He wasn't at Bellagio, so and he might have. I don't know. You tell me as you go there. But I think it's pretty cool that
he was at the Venetian.
All right. Well, it's right across the street.
And
you say right across the street, it's about 5 miles.
I was about to say, my God, this crowd shot's incredible. No, that's him at the Sphere watching the show from the Sphere. That's not his show. So I don't know how big of a theater
it was
the Venetian has
I saw pictures of
for
it.
A comedy show.
They
got lots of theaters.
Well, that's true, but it was a big crowd. I saw it. I saw the crowd when he because he does this thing where he runs out.
Yes,
he runs out.
Yeah,
the crowd.
It's 2,000 people. 2,000 people.
That's about right.
Yeah.
It's about right. But the Venetian's a swanky place.
Yeah,
it is.
So you're saying they were expensive tickets because it was swanky?
Well, I don't know how expensive they were, but I'm just saying for Brad Williams. That's a hell of a deal to get to play in Vegas like that. So props to him. So he's a star.
He's a star.
I like that dude. He was a fun interview, and he was fun when we saw him after the show, and he's a fun guy.
On our YouTube channel. At Redbird's Junkie says he's at the Little Chapel in Vegas.
He's already married, Redbirds.
Little Chapel, sir.
Well, where you get married?
Redbirds is trying to be funny.
He's trying to be funny.
Yes. Yeah. I thought you Cardinal fans all stuck together.
Well, he was at the Little Theater at the Venetian.
Obviously. Hey, Redbird's Junkie.
It's all right. Cardinals won the first game of a doubleheader today, by the way.
Astros got a home run on the first pitch of the game, and it was all downhill after that as they lost to Detroit. I probably not supposed to say this, but since I see Redbird's Junkie there, we're probably going to do a little contest here in the next couple of weeks where we're going to give away tickets to the Cardinals-Rangers game that we're going to broadcast live at.
Yeah, how about that?
I don't know we're not allowed to announce that yet, but
well, you just did.
I know Redbird's Junkie went on our bus trip. We're not doing a bus this time. You got to get your own ass there.
Yeah,
we'll see you at the game.
But then that's fine because we got to get our own ass there. So
yep. And it ain't going to be on a bus.
I will say this, and I don't have too many good things to say about Jason Minix, but I appreciate Jason Minix allowing, agreeing to, go to Arlington and do the show and watch Cardinals baseball. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You're awesome, dude.
I'm going to watch Rangers baseball, sir, but I'm a good teammate. I know that's your team. It's fun to go. We're going to do our show at the stadium before the game and have a good time.
Hopefully they'll be somewhere around 500 by that point.
Who, the Rangers?
Well, and the Cardinals. I don't know how are the Rangers doing.
You're a professional sportscaster on the affiliate home of the Texas Rangers.
Well, I just thought you might know off the top of your head, but obviously you don't.
Clearly I don't.
So I'll bail you out and find it myself.
Yeah. And old Justin Guerrero saying, when do I get a tour of the studio?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we don't do those kind of things, sir, unless you bring food.
He did.
Oh, yeah, but he didn't stick around.
He was selling cars. The Rangers right now are 16-14. Just a game and a half behind the Seattle Mariners. The Cardinals are 13-17, 5 games behind those hated Chicago Cubs.
And the Astros?
The Astros, let's see. They are same record as the Rangers, 16-14, game and a half behind Seattle.
You know, there's a dude on our YouTube chat named Chris Bell. Who is a huge Rockets fan, I can tell. I didn't know that until today. You keep talking noise there, Chris Bell. Spur fan collecting Fiesta medals instead of championship trophies. So cute y'all are. I'm trying to remember the last championship trophy that Houston won.
When was the last championship? Was that?
I think there was a 1 in the beginning of the year, and then a 9. And
so
then,
that was
and then
the
a 9.
That was the
mid-90s.
Hakeem Olajuwon days.
Yeah,
that's the year they beat the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. If I'm
no,
right,
they did.
I believe it was.
The Spurs were up 2-0.
Yeah, they were.
And Hakeem just destroyed Dave. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Hakeem Olajuwon was the man.
He was,
dude. He was something.
Yeah. Chris, let's talk about how the Rocket season is likely to end it tonight. We'll do that coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential, or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And they have their pre-summer AC inspection special still going on for $58.99. They'll come out, inspect your capacitor, indoor coil, outdoor coil, filter, and check all your proper temperature levels to make sure your AC unit is ready when the oven gets turned on here in the next couple of months. So call Quartermoon and get that scheduled. Have an emergency, same number, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the Odyssey radio app.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat $1 billion insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community when and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, $1 billion insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyer4us.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. I know it's close to dinner time. Everybody's going to eat soon. Maybe you've already eaten. I don't want to ruin your appetite, but I kind of do.
Oh, my gosh, don't.
I got to.
Dude.
I got to share this with the world.
I know where you're going
what
with this.
The actual that James Pledger just sent us.
Dude,
I retweeted it at Jason Minix. I don't know if Joe Reinagel has the toes to do this or not, and retweet it. I'm not sure what this is. Honestly, it is disgusting. It is the worst-looking
toes,
feet.
Yummy.
You would not say yummy when you see these feet. Now, I don't even know how to describe these Geico caveman-looking feet that somebody on public transportation, no shoes on, I don't know if you could actually put shoes on these feet, sitting up with their feet up on a chair. The toenails they look like fangs, like they're really long and then shaped like little knives or something, but then the feet are gnarly, like they never wear shoes because, again, I don't know with these feet how you could put shoes on.
Well,
I can't tell. I don't know if this is man's feet, women's feet, caveman feet.
They're claws, right? I mean, there's claws. There's like claws hanging out of this thing. Dude, that is
it's some sort of tram. But you know how sometimes you see some of those ladies, and quite honestly, I don't know where they wear fake fingernails as long as they do and do certain very basic things in life with fingernails like that. You know what I mean? That's what these toenails look like. But then the feet are all, well, one dirty and two like look kind of gashed. James, I don't know why you would send that. You are gross, my friend.
Joe's toes, put them in my mouth.
Yeah, well, dude.
Yeah, my toes would be like caviar compared to this one. I promise you.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that. Those might be the – if somebody can go find those on Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, and properly describe those, I don't know. I'll give you a starburst or something.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, a starburst.
Got
some Pepto-Bismol.
They're like talons.
It's good. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like that.
And then why does this person think that the world needs to see it?
If you were on a subway or some sort of train,
look like a bus, maybe a bus. I don't know.
Bus, train. I mean, I know. It's moving too smooth to be a bus. I don't know. It looks to me like a subway or some sort of tram system. Not even sure where this was taken.
I can't believe you're still looking at that.
I can't stop looking at it, unfortunately.
You're obsessed
because
with
now
that.
I'm trying to figure out this is a train because another one went by it. But,
wow.
But if you were on a train, you're on a subway, you're on a tram, I don't know, and you saw somebody sitting there with those feet, you would whip out your camera and start videoing too. You would.
I think I would have to because I've never seen anything like that. I mean, that's one of those things obviously you don't see every day. The person's, I don't know, he or she, the person's foot looks like it's too big for any made shoe on the planet. It's a big foot.
All I know is if that walked in to the local pedicure place, everybody in there would quit. I mean, those ladies that actually have to work on your feet or on my feet deserve all the tip money that we offer. There's not enough money in the world for somebody to manicure those.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to get like the jaws of life to get those toenails off. I mean, firefighter equipment.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's, you talk about stuff you've never seen before. I've never seen anything like that. That's awful.
That is.
It's like this person didn't wear shoes forever.
Well, they
has never had a pair of shoes.
Can they wear shoes with those kind of?
Dude, that's just. You're right. I was hungry. You want to go on a diet, ladies and gentlemen? Take a look at those feet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Wow. All righty then.
You want fried shrimp tails for dinner?
Good Lord.
There's 10 of them in this photo.
Get Greg Shelton in here. He might think they're attractive.
I can't even make fun of Greg Shelton on that.
Well,
because I would think. I mean, I don't know that Greg Shelton would turn many things down, but I think he would turn that down.
He eats shrimp tails.
He does.
Well,
grumpy ass Greg Shelton, our lovely on-site engineer, eats fried shrimp tails.
Now, see, we'll see Shelton tomorrow.
We will. Taste of the North Side.
Yeah, and there will probably be shrimp out there at some point in time.
There will be, and we'll eat the shrimp. He'll eat the tails.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's just disgusting. Dude.
Quit watching it.
I'm not. I'm thinking about Shelton eating tails now.
Well, why would you do that?
Well, because you brought it up.
I mean, I can think and then quickly unthink of Shelton eating shrimp tails. Who's having fried shrimp for dinner?
I'm not. I promise you that. That poor dude.
Who?
That guy, the A&M coach. What's his name?
Bucky.
Bucky
McMillan.
Bucky McMillan. Goof.
Ledger, are you going to talk about the games tonight? Because we're out of time. This whole segment was supposed to be about tonight's game and how I hope the Rockets lose.
Well, I hope they lose too. The Lakers, at this point, don't give a damn. I don't think they can win that series, but I think I think both home teams win tonight. I really do, and I think stay alive and they go back to the respective other one's house for Game 6.
Well, I mean, the NBA does need some of these series to go a little bit longer.
Well, perhaps. Although we already see that Cleveland and Indiana, it's not going to start till Sunday, Game 1.
Yeah, well, because Sunday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying. So they got to stretch these out a little bit. Detroit and New York's going to go 7. I don't think there's any way it doesn't.
Maybe. I think the Knicks can close it in 6.
I don't think so.
I hope Denver closes in 6.
I hope they do, but that'll be tough also.
I hope Golden State closes tonight, and I expect the Lakers to beat Minnesota.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Rob and AJ tomorrow morning, 6 to 10, the morning huddle. The Blitz tomorrow, Taste of the North Side.
Can't wait for that.
You guys still can get tickets to Taste of the North Side. Promo code BLITZ50, save you some money on those Taste of the North Side tickets, and all that money raised helps the Brighton Center, which is fantastic. My favorite Fiesta event is tomorrow. We will be there live. Extra innings with Pledge next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM, Floresville.